Broadcasting live statewide from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay. This is Nite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now, a guy who's had a paper route for 25 years but never collected, Pete Schwaba.
Hey, welcome to Nite. That's always nice when you start off on a strong note like that and have to clear your throat the second you start talking. Hey, welcome to Nite, folks. I am Pete Schwaba. It is great to have you here on this Thursday night, the Christmas Eve of weeknights. Thursday night can only mean one thing, and that is that we are making our popcorn pick of the week tonight, and it is going to be a blast. We've got, I have no doubt we will get an excellent movie pick from our guest, Adam Hess. I will tell you all about Adam in just a few moments, as well as my other guest for tonight. But first, I think I would be remiss if I did not introduce Conrad Krieger. Hey, buddy, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing well.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a good day. It was a good day.
You've already been talking for 4 seconds, and you haven't mentioned the weather. Is everything okay?
Actually, I walked outside today, and I was like, wow, it's warm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I
you
don't know if I'd go that far, but yeah.
It was because of the sun.
Better.
But
yeah, we have...
right now it's 9 degrees, and the sun's going down, but it was a little warmer before.
Yeah, there's hope. We'll get there.
Eventually.
Yeah. We have a really fun show tonight, folks. I'm very excited about tonight's show. We're going to be talking about aliens. We're going to make the popcorn pick of the week, and we're going to get a quick movie review in just a few minutes after the news, which is coming along in just about 23 minutes. We're going to talk about 28 Days Later, Bone Temple. Very excited. I have not seen this movie yet, so we'll discuss that a little bit. Lots going on around the state. You know what I've decided we're going to do, Conrad? The Olympics are right around the corner. They start February 6th. We are going to feature a Wisconsin-based Olympic athlete here on Nite every night leading up to the Olympics next Friday. And we're going to start it tonight, and I'm very excited. How do you feel about that, Conrad?
I mean, that's fantastic.
I shared that. I waited purposefully to share that with you on the air so you could not hide your elation.
I think that sounds really cool.
It does sound cool. It's going to be fun. So we'll talk about that. We've got, lots going on. There's so much going on. Bill Belichick is not in the Hall of Fame. What do you make of that, Conrad?
I think this is funny is that, we did that pre-record with Seth Wickersham.
Yeah.
And I told you, like, moments later, I was like, yeah, Seth just broke some pretty big news. It was like 2 minutes after we were done.
I know he works for ESPN, but it would have killed him to break the news on Nightline
right
during a pre-record.
Yeah, no, I mean, those championships, everything he did, I think that well-deserved. He's well-deserved of being in the Hall of Fame.
If you're just going based on achievements and accomplishments, absolutely. He is a cheater, but he served his time for that, supposedly. So if he didn't do enough for that, maybe you should have penalized him more. But you can't argue that his accomplishments, unless you're putting it all on Brady, which maybe you could because Brady won a Super Bowl without Belichick, and it didn't happen the other way around. I'm kidding. Belichick's a great coach. He seems like kind of a jerk, but that's never been a criteria for voting. Really strange. And what's even stranger is most of the people assume it's because of Deflategate. But there were a couple reporters. I was reading an article today on Yahoo Entertainment, and they said they just wanted to see other people get in first. Now, Robert Kraft was eligible, Roger Craig, great player. But, nobody shows up to a sporting event to watch an owner own. They watch the game, and I think that's kind of bull. And I like reporters. I like how they tell truth, but that's ridiculous. You'd rather see other people get in. I just don't buy that on any level. Conrad, you're the sports guy. Interject.
Well, I mean, I do think he is a Hall of Famer, like just based off his achievements alone. Maybe he's not the best guy, but I mean, I think this is what we can kind of compare it to is Mike Tomlin's is a Hall of Famer.
Correct.
Do you agree with that?
I do.
Yeah, and he's only had one Super Bowl, but he's also had a lot of winning records.
He's never had a losing record. That's impressive. Yeah. But that can almost work against you. You're locked in mediocrity, and you never get the high draft picks. I mean, yeah, that's something though.
So if we're comparing coaches, I mean, I'm just saying, Mike Tomlin's he's going to be a Hall of Famer. How's Belichick now? It just doesn't make sense to me.
Mike Tomlin does seem like a cooler guy.
Well, yeah, definitely. He definitely seems way cooler.
Let's stick with sports. This is exciting. I saw this today. Pulaski athlete Deirdre Irwin. She's a biathlete competing for the gold in the Olympics that start next Friday night, February 6th. This is kind of cool. Stormy Kromer hats are making a team Irwin hat. And I think that's fun. It's like all her family can wear them, and they're going to like celebrate her just being in the Olympics. She, Conrad, is the best biathlete. I want to make very clear here. I'm not saying biathlete like a sexual preference. She is a biathlete.
Meaning she's good at multiple sports.
When you don't know quite how to react to what I'm saying. Yeah, she's great at the biathlon. Yeah. You know, she's a badass, and she's like one of the best in the world, obviously. She's in the Olympics, but she went to Michigan Tech, local girl from here in Northeast Wisconsin, grew up in Pulaski. I think that's so cool. And she'll have the hats to show her support thanks to Stormy Kromer. Very cool thing.
Yeah, I saw that video, and definitely go check it out. But yeah, there's some cool hats. I think she'll have a easy time finding who's supporting her. Absolutely.
I saw the story on WSAW, The Saw, I think they call it, in Wausau. Very cool story. And let's do this tonight. Tomorrow night, let's do a deep dive. We're going to start doing a deep dive on Olympic athletes from Wisconsin. That should keep us very busy until next Friday. But let's celebrate our homebred athletes here. They're going to represent us at the Winter Olympics, which on some level, I will say, I feel like I don't watch the Olympics as much as I should, but I love the winter sports. I find them to be like the bobsled, the luge, the biathlon, downhill skiing, all that stuff. Like it's sort of, I feel like there's more extreme sports in the Olympics in the winter.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, there's a Kewaskum athlete that made the Olympics.
Is that right?
Yeah.
How come I'm just hearing about this now for the first time?
I mean, we can do a deep dive later, all right. This or next, but
Let's discuss tomorrow. We'll do an athlete tomorrow here in the first segment, folks. So tune in tomorrow night and find out who our Wisconsin athlete of the night will be competing in this year's Winter Olympics that starts February 6th. Tonight, we're not doing a deep dive, but I think this is really cool that Deirdre Irwin is from right here in the Green Bay area. She's also in the National Guard. So how do you like that? She's serving her country both through the military and in the Olympics. And she's the biathlon is shooting a gun and skiing, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that kind of scares me. I'm a little scared of her. I'm just saying, I think she could probably take me. So, okay. We've got a really fun show tonight, folks. I'm going to tell you who our guests are. But first, let's get to our Nightlight question of the night.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
Question.
Pregunta.
Question.
Hey,
I have a question. Questions?
This question.
Domanda.
Question.
Questions.
We are having fun with this one, folks. You know those little sweethearts? People hand them out prior to Valentine's Day, typically. We got them in school. Conrad, I'm sure you got them in school as well. As treats.
Never did.
Really?
Not those.
There must have been a crackdown. We used to get those all the time.
I don't know if they do this anymore, but like for Valentine's Day when I was in like middle school, we had to like hand them out to every single person in the class.
Oh, that's humiliating.
So no one felt like they couldn't, no one felt left out.
Right.
So I don't know if they do that anymore, but that was how I grew up.
You give one to your best friend that says, "Be mine."
Very idea, pretty much.
The candy sweethearts. They are using more practical messages now. they're kind of updating the whole idea. It's not just romance, be mine, my sweetie, kiss me, all that kind of stuff. Now it's more practical messages on these sweethearts, like split rent, share
great.
login, you know? So our question tonight is, what words would you like to put on a sweetheart? Let us know at 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. You can also text us on the app. Very easy way to reach the show, the Civic Media app, or if you're watching the radio on the stream on Facebook, YouTube, or X, drop us a stream comment and I will read it on the radio. And while you're there, give us a like or a follow if you don't mind. But let us know what words you would like to put on a sweetheart. Have you thought about this, Con?
Yeah, quick trip.
I don't even know what to say to that. What are you saying
That's
by
it.
quick trip?
That's it. Just quick trip.
But what message are you trying to get? Just like you're so blind faith in quick trip?
That means a lot of stuff. You know, we could go get gas together at Quick Trip. I'll fill it for you. Or, you know, we'll go and get 2 chicken Sammies.
Let's travel together, but keep it fast.
Share chocolate milk. Share a nice warm coffee. There we go.
God.
So you're quick trip, you know?
You're going to take a date to Quick Trip for chocolate milk?
That's a great idea.
Are you 12? I say dance off. You know, I'm just trying to be like I love the login shares and that one and all these other ones we've seen. They're just great. And I love when a company does something like this because it gives us a chance to put it out there to people and see what they would do. So we got some great social media responses. We'll read some of your texts off the text line too at 855-752-4842 or the app or the stream. So be part of the show, folks. We love when you guys participate. It is always so much more fun. I'm anxious to read some of these texts tonight, and you can keep it relatively clean. But if you want to go there, who am I to stop you? Fun show tonight too. We've got my son Joe Schwaba will be here at 5:35. He's 2 movies ahead of me, Conrad. He, like you, has seen Marty Supreme. And he's also seen 28 Days Later, Bone Temple with Ray Fiennes. I am so excited to see this movie. I know Matt Miller was on last night. He kind of said it wasn't quite as good as the last one, but it still got good reviews. And I think Matt said he still liked it. I'm just jazzed. I cannot wait to see it. I will probably see it this weekend. So I've got to see Marty Supreme and 28 Days Later. Those are the 2 foremost on my list.
Yeah, I'd say Marty Supreme, definitely give that a watch.
Absolutely.
Like I've been saying. But last night I did rent a movie.
Really?
Yes, I rented Anaconda.
Oh, dude. All right, we're going to hear about that. Let's do that after the break. My other guests tonight, folks, are Adam Hess, Civic Media's own from WRCO in Richland Center, is going to be here tonight to make the popcorn pick of the week. So when Adam leaves us sometime around 7 o'clock or shortly thereafter, you will have a movie pick to watch this weekend. Possibly one you've never seen. It might possibly be the greatest movie you've ever seen. We'll see what Adam shares with us. But that is always a fun segment. We'll find out what kind of movie snacks he likes. And then Adam is also, Conrad, I don't know if I told you this, we're going to talk about Alice in Dairyland, a very cool contest we have here in Wisconsin. All right, we're coming right back. It's Nightlight with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
City traffic's moving way too slow.
Welcome back. I'm Pete Schwaba. This is Nightlight, a Thursday night edition. It is the Christmas Eve of weeknights, folks. Let's have some fun. Friday is almost here, and 'tis a lovely evening, the Thursday evening. A little pressure. Maybe it's casual Friday tomorrow at work. Maybe you've got big plans this weekend, and we are inching ever closer. So happy Thursday, and great to have you here. Our question of the night is, what are words you would put on a sweetheart? They have sort of changed their marketing plan a little bit, and they don't just go with romantic messages anymore. They have messages like split rent, shared password, all kinds of modern day text message type things we send. So let us know what you would do. 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC, and we will be off to the races. News, sports, and weather is coming up in just about 7 minutes. We've already discussed an Olympic athlete, Deirdre Irwin, who is from Pulaski. It was great reading about Deirdre before. She's going to have her own hat line at the Olympics. Her family will be able to watch her, and she'll be able to see them thanks to these cool hats. So I kind of got cut off, Con. Sometimes when I do the show from home, I lose track of time because I don't have that big, huge clock right in front of me.
Yeah.
But joining me tonight in the third hour, folks, will be Becky Ferreira. She is an author, and her book is First Contact. And it's a great book. I received it in the mail about a week ago. I've been working my way through it. She covers Roswell, how aliens first came to be, or at least our knowledge of them and our curiosity thousands of years ago. It's a really good book, and she was a really fun interview. We recorded with her a little while ago, so very excited to play that for you guys later. It's a really fun book, and we had a great discussion about aliens. So I think we're all kind of interested in aliens, even if we're not maybe obsessed. But she is an authority on it, and she's a science reporter. So she's all about facts and evidence and all that kind of stuff. So Becky will be here at 7:35 to help us close things down tonight. As I mentioned, Joe Schwaba will be here after the news talking about the film 28 Years Later, Bone Temple. And Adam Hess from WRCO in Richland Center here at Civic Media will make the popcorn pick of the week at 6:35. So that's your show right there, Conrad. That's a show. What else we got here? So I don't. Where do you stand on aliens, Conrad?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Like, there's some things that I've seen that I'm like, oh, that's weird. But there's some other things that are like, this looks like a helicopter that you could see a light from.
It's a little vague. I mean, the UFO means unidentified flying object. Doesn't necessarily mean alien spacecraft. We just don't know what the hell it is.
Yeah.
So, but I'm excited. I love a good alien TV or movie, TV show or movie. And we talked about that with Becky. So that was fun. And I love the idea that something is inexplicable or it's hard to describe what it was. I find that I'm very curious about stuff like that. Yeah. So I keep, just like with Sasquatch or a Squatch, as people, they're enthusiasts, they call it that. I keep an open mind, but we'll talk to Becky and it will be fun. So we can, what are your thoughts on aliens, folks? As always, the phone lines are open, and you can shoot us a text about anything you're thinking tonight or anything we're talking about. That's always fun as well. We've got, let me ask you something, Conrad. If I asked you what was the most streamed show in 2025, what would you say? Or what would you venture to guess?
I would say Stranger Things.
That is exactly what I thought. And I read this article. I think it was from Gawker, I think it was called.
Great site.
It's not Stranger Things.
Huh.
I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
Stuart J. Waddles.
So it's a kid's show.
Yeah. A kid's show. He came on this radio program about 6 months ago and just was so passionate about it.
Bluey.
Yes. That is the most streamed show in 2025. I think that's so cool. I sent him an email, and I think he has me blocked because he didn't get back to me. But I was excited. I was excited to share that with him because it's such a great show. We've also got. I found this out today. For those of you with daughters, and things have changed a little bit. Like, times have changed. It's not always so traditional where the parents of the daughter pay for the wedding. People do different things now, but typically it's always been that way, that the parents of the daughter pay for the wedding. If you had to guess, Conrad, how much do you think the average wedding costs nowadays?
30,000.
Very close. 36 grand.
Oh, okay.
That is insane.
That's a lot of money.
$36,000. I mean,
for one day, but it's got to be a
it's
special
taken
one.
me weeks to lose that much at the casino.
Takes me one day. What do you mean?
36. You put it all on red. 36 G's. That's crazy. If you've got a daughter getting married, folks, I'd love to hear what you paid if you're willing to share that, because I have a daughter. She's nowhere near getting married, but that is in the back of my mind. Like, I got to start a fund right now. And I mean, whatever. I won't go into it, but that's a lot of money.
It is.
All right, we've got news, sports, and weather coming up in just about a minute, folks, and then we're going to do a quick movie review at 5:35 after the news. Joe Schwaba will be here. He stops by periodically to review movies that I haven't seen yet and that we have not talked about on the phone yet as father and son. This is great. Matt Harper, our favorite Green Bay rock rap artist, says what he would put on a sweetheart is meet at Lenny's Tap.
There we go.
That's awesome. And then he clarified my sweetheart line. I love it. Dave on the stream says a poop emoji. That's real mature, Dave. All right. Hey, we're coming right back, folks. News, sports, and weather is next. And we're going to talk about 28 years later, Bone Temple. Great movie. And popcorn pick of the week. Some alien talk in hour 3. You're here on a great night. We are rocking it. This is Nightlight with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
And the food and drinks are free in the base. Go time, you know it. Yeah, in the building. That's where it's at. That's where it's at. Go to the basement. That's where it's at. All in the basement. That's where it's at.
Hey, Joe, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I just want to make sure everything's good before we go on here.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Dad.
Did you see Conrad Dave just put 6-7 in the chat?
Yeah, that's
chat?
fantastic.
On the I don't know if Joe can see it or not. It's just stream comments. Then we have the text line, which is just text. But if you click on comments, Joe, you might be able to see the stream.
6-7.
6-7.
All right. We'll be back in about 2 minutes, all right?
I'll try to stop by. Welcome back. I'm Pete Schwaba. This is Nightlight. It is great to have you here, folks. We are celebrating all the things in life that make us happy tonight. Movies and TV and music and comedy, aliens, a little bit of sports talk earlier, all good stuff. Dave on the stream outdid himself, and this is my new current sweetheart message, 6'7". That cracked me up.
That's great.
That's outstanding. But you got to do the hand thing when you hand the, and much better, much more mature than poop, Dave. So thank you for that. Hey, there's a new movie out called 28 Years, Bone Temple. I have not seen it yet, but my son Joe has, and Joe drops by here periodically to talk about the movies he's seen at my request, and the movies typically that I have not seen yet. So it is my pleasure to welcome into Nightlight actor, social media guru, and filmmaker Joe Schwaba. Hey, Joe, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. I like the background. Very nice.
Oh yeah, thanks.
It's like you're like actually in a studio there or something, buddy. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Do you have a if you were to put words on a sweetheart, Joe? You know what those little sweethearts are?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have something you would put on there just to keep it more contemporary?
Is this kind of for Valentine's Day?
Yes, it's for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I would say maybe temper your expectations.
Well, that's a mouthful to get on a little sweetheart, but I like it.
Get it on there.
Maybe click here for the rest of the message, that type of thing. But yeah, that's great. Temper your low bar, maybe, to summarize.
Don't expect much. I don't know.
So this is great. Thanks for being on the show tonight. I'm not embarrassed, but I'm kind of shocked that I have not seen 28 days later. 28 days 28 years Bone Temple. It's weird because there's a new trilogy, but the first part of this trilogy was part of the last trilogy. So I get the titles mixed up. I don't know what they're doing, but
it's kind of bizarre. Yeah.
Yeah, but I like the last one so much. I assumed I would run out and see this one immediately. I have not done that. What did you think of the film?
I thought it was great. I thought it was really well made. well acted. I thought Ray Fiennes did a fantastic job. I love watching him in anything he's in.
Yeah.
He was my favorite part of this movie. His whole, because it's kind of split into different storylines, and his storyline was definitely my favorite. And I think what made the movie really cool stuff just about like kind of the nature of humanity. And that's sort of what those movies explore, like what separates us from animals, or in this case, the infected. And I think that this one definitely carried on that trend, or those themes that the previous movies have kind of explored.
Interesting. The last film was called just 28 Years Later. And this is 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. Ray Fiennes is in both of them. All I've been hearing is how fantastic he is in this movie. I mean, you're right.
Yeah,
he's a great
awesome
actor, but he is outstanding. And I'm very, aside from him, and the movie reviewed very well, what were the best parts about the movie?
Also, I think he should be up for an Oscar for this movie. Like, I thought he was that good. It'll never happen because it's, 28 Years Later is sort of put under the umbrella of like zombie or horror or whatever.
Right.
But it's by itself a very good movie. Like, I wish it would be included in those categories, because I thought this one was slightly, like, it wasn't as good as the 28 Years Later, but it was still very good. I don't know what people are saying, if people are saying this one was better or a little worse. I don't know, but I'm sorry. What was the question?
No, your favorite elements of the film outside of Ray Fiennes' performance.
Yeah, I mean, it had some it was just like some really cool sequences that were shot really cool. Again, I would say my favorite parts of these movies are like just the themes they explore. And I don't want to say too much without giving away parts of the movie. Should also say there is an extremely big cliffhanger / big spoiler at the end that I'm not going to say anything else. But it's pretty cool, and you kind of are like, oh my gosh,
Okay, so you said you weren't sure what other people were saying about the film. Matt Miller, Milwaukee film critic, who's on this show a lot last night, kind of said what you said. He liked it. He did not like it as much as he liked 28 Years Later. However, 92%, pardon me, 92% positive reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. That's with 300 reviews, 88% on the popcorn meter, which is audiences. So people like the film, and now I'm even more excited to see it. And you mentioned the Oscars, Joe. This came out in 2026, so it wouldn't be eligible until next year for Ray Fiennes anyway. So that will be interesting. Let me ask you this. Did the first one, or the one that came out last year, 28 Years Later, ended with a continuance or a hint at where the second one was going, or where this one, the second one of the new trilogy is going? Did they play that out?
Yeah. You get to meet those characters that come in at the end.
The skateboarders.
They're or parkour guys, or whatever. They're very good. Two of the actors I know, I don't know either of their names, but one of the main guy was also in Sinners. He played the bad guy in Sinners.
Oh, really?
And he's really good. And then also there's another actress that's been in a ton of stuff, but I don't remember what great commentary I'm providing right now. The guy from The Thing and the whatever, the one thing, like. But
no, I know what you mean. I think it's Chai Lewis Perry, maybe is who you're talking about. But anyway, all right. So overall, do you agree with the critics, 92%, or the audience at 88%? What do you give the film in the way of stars or percentages or whatever?
I'm trying to think what I ranked it, because I ranked them both in my Letterboxd. I would say I think they're probably both 4 out of 5.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I would say both. Maybe the first one even a 4.5. I would give the first one a 4.5.
If people wanted to find your letterbox where you talk about movies, how would they do that? Where would they go? I didn't even know you had that.
I think I probably have like 2 followers on there. I mostly just log movies so I can remember them. But I think it's just Joe Schwaba. I think that's just my name on there.
No, that's smart because I have film critics on the show, and then I'm trying to remember what I've seen, and I can't remember.
Yeah.
And then they'll leave, and I'm like, oh my god, I saw The Rip the other day, or whatever it is,
Right.
All right, so that's great. My guest is Joe Schwaba. He is a Wisconsin-based actor filmmaker, and he drops by here periodically to give us kind of thumbnail movie reviews. And we're just talking about 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, which he liked a lot. Joe, I don't know, like about you. When I was your age, I was not that into the Oscars, but of the 10 films that have been nominated for Best Picture, I think you've seen more than me. I've only seen 4. And have you been paying attention at all to that? And I know you liked Marty Supreme a lot.
Yeah.
So based on the films you've seen, what are your favorites, if you have any?
Is there a way, can we go over or maybe I can pull up a list in front of me.
I've got it right here. So we've got The Secret Agent, Begonia, Train Dreams, Frankenstein, F1, if you can believe that.
This is for nominated for Best Picture?
Best Picture.
That's a good, okay. Well, we can talk about F1 later.
Yeah.
But
Hamnet, I have not seen Hamnet. I mentioned Begonia. Sinners, with 6, I don't know if you heard this, it got 16 nominations, breaking a record of 14 held by Titanic, All About Eve, and La La Land. 16. Sentimental Value, the great Stellan Skarsgård. The Secret Agent, the Brazilian film, which is supposed to be dynamite. Marty Supreme, and One Battle After Another. So I've only seen 4 of them.
okay.
So far.
I've seen 5. That's really hard. All those movies are really good. I thought Begonia would probably I'd put a little farther down than the other ones, but I still really liked Begonia. I would say out of those, my favorite. So I saw Marty Supreme, F1. Also, I love F1, but I would say that's probably not it probably shouldn't be in the running. But I love that movie. I thought it was a great popcorn movie.
Yeah.
I would say I'd probably do Sinners or One Battle After Another. It's really close between those two. Probably dead even for me. Marty Supreme not far behind either.
A lot of people are saying that, and I'll share this with you. Rob Thomas from Madison, Matt Miller from Milwaukee, both, and I kind of agree with them, almost want the award to split between Best Picture and Best Director so that both of them get something, because I liked One Battle After Another a little bit more than Sinners, but 16 nominations and the look of that movie and the music and the acting and everything that's in it, I'm kind of almost pulling for that to win. It's weird.
I think I am too. And I feel like I'm in a similar situation where I think personally, similar where I was like, I really like the movie F1. I really like the movie One Battle After Another, but I would maybe say Sinners is the better movie. But just personally, I might like One Battle better.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at. And I and neither one of them have ever won an Oscar, Ryan Coogler or Paul Thomas Anderson, which that one especially is hard to believe. I think he's been around longer than Ryan Coogler, so that surprises me even more. But another film I really liked was Train Dreams, which was a Netflix film, and I really enjoyed that too. So who knows what'll happen? I still have to see. You and Conrad have both seen Marty Supreme. I still have not seen Marty Supreme.
Oh, yeah.
I know. So I've got, out of the films you've seen, Joe, before we let you go, Best Actor, what are you thinking? Or Actress?
Best Actor.
I mean, you got Michael B. Jordan in Sinners, who played Smoke and Stack, 2 roles. You got Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yep.
And you got your guy, Timothée Chalamet from Marty Supreme.
My guy?
Well,
because he's my age. Or older.
Well, you just like the movie a lot. And you were telling
I do, yeah.
I do remember you saying maybe on this show a month ago or so how much you liked his performance.
He's good. Yeah, he's good. I would probably say Leo or Michael B. Jordan. I'd probably say Michael B. Jordan, honestly.
Me too. I love Leo, but I think it was Matt that said last night the Academy doesn't recognize funny Leo, and he's very funny.
Yeah,
he's not jokey, but funny. He's great. His performance is excellent. But I'm with you. I think Michael B. Jordan.
It's such a hard and then I thought Tiana Taylor was really good in
supporting actress. Yeah.
She's not. Well, I guess she's more of a supporting character in that movie.
Yep.
I would say gave a great performance. I don't know the name. What's the name of the girl in One Battle After Another?
Yeah, the girl. I don't know. I know who you're talking about though. The young.
Was she nominated or no?
She was not, and she was great. And they thought it was a snub, but then other people said, "Well, she's so young; it's not really a
She's
snub."
like 18 or something.
Yeah. Joe, this is great. Thank you as always for dropping by. Love your reviews, and it's amazing how much we agree on movies. But we'll have to find one we disagree on. That could be a fun conversation as well. But this was outstanding. All right. Next time we'll do a deep dive into F1. Joe Schwaba, ladies and gentlemen. Follow him on Instagram, TikTok. He puts really funny reels up. And yep.
Sorry, someone said Chase Infinity.
Oh, Chase Infinity. There you go. All right, perfect. Thanks, Joe. Have a great night. Much appreciated.
Thanks.
All right, that's Joe Schwaba. We are coming back after a very short break. Melissa said Chase Infinity. Thank you, Melissa, on the stream. And also says she votes for Sinners. Conrad, we got to get your take when we come back.
Anaconda.
All right, we'll talk about that after the break. It's Pete Schwaba and Nightlight on the Civic Media Radio Network. Welcome back. I'm Pete Schwaba. This is Nightlight. Our question of the night is, what words would you put on a sweetheart? Those little candy confections we used to hand out as kids in school. They have changed their sort of business plan, and they are putting more contemporary words on the little hearts, like shared rent or shared login information. If you are Matt Harper, meet me at Lenny's Tap. All kinds of fun stuff. I said, what did you say, Con?
Quick Trip.
Oh, that's right. Quick Trip.
It's a great answer.
It's an answer. No, it's fine. I said dance off. So I stuck a little bit more with the theme. You were sort of trying to promote your favorite fine dining establishment, which is fine.
Yeah. Come on.
Nothing wrong with that. All right. So let us know what you would put on a sweetheart. Adam Hess, our civic media colleague, will be here. Adam is he is on the air over at WRCO in Richland Center. He's going to be here to make the popcorn pick of the week. And then bonus coverage, we're going to talk about Alice in Dairyland. He did a piece on Alice in Dairyland. We'll have Adam explain what that is if you don't know. I remember reading about it a couple of years ago, but it's a really fun contest that we do here in Wisconsin. The kind of contest we really only can have here in Wisconsin. Alice in Dairyland, because we are the dairy state. So there you go. So we'll talk to Adam at 6:35. He'll make the popcorn pick of the week. And then in hour 3, some alien talk with Becky Ferrara. She is the author of First Contact. So, and it's a great book I've been reading. Her PR people were nice enough to send me a copy, and I'm really digging it. So we'll talk to Becky and about the spooky stuff in hour number 3. Conrad saw a movie. You finally saw Anaconda. And I say because we were talking, not that this is like one of the most highly coveted movies to see, but
no,
pardon me. I talked about this. I couldn't wait to see this movie just because it looked like a fun popcorn, silly movie.
Yeah. I waited because I didn't feel like it would be, it's like a theater movie, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I waited, and it finally came out. It was, I had to rent it. It's not on streaming yet, but I didn't mind, I guess.
Wait, you can rent Anaconda now?
Yeah.
Boy, that did not take long. It's not like the $20 rental fee. It's more like the $4 or $5 or whatever.
Yeah, it was like, no, it was $12 on Fandango.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. I saw the original a while back, so I thought it was hilarious. So they kept calling back to the original one.
Okay.
And my favorite part of that whole movie is when Ice Cube did make his appearance.
What is he doing? I know the thing, like in the original, it like eats John Voight, right?
Yeah.
And then spits him out.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I loved his cameo in this movie because he just starts shooting his gun and just walks.
But whose cameo? John Voight or Ice Cube?
No, Ice Cube.
Okay.
And I mean, Jennifer Lopez makes an appearance too for like 3 seconds, but but no, I thought it was funny. It's not a great movie, but I thought it was. I enjoyed it.
See, I don't think I would rent it at home, or I wouldn't pay $12 for it, but I would put it on when it was up.
Yeah. I think that the movie had some great parts in it. Pete, are you still there? All right, well, Pete is having some technical issues.
Did I just cut out, or did you?
Yeah. All right, you're back. Okay.
Where did I go, Con? Where did I go? I'm not a tech guy.
You froze for a second there. You're good.
Okay.
Now.
What's the last thing you heard from me other than SOS?
I was just you wouldn't pay $12 for it at home.
No, I wouldn't. But I would watch it. I will watch it because I'm curious. But that just seemed to me like a really fun theater film. We have. Go ahead.
You didn't see it?
I did not see it in the theater because I wanted to see it in the theater.
I thought you said, I thought you did see it.
No.
So I feel bad that I just ruined the cameo for you. But no,
you'll
enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. Paul Rudd, absolutely hilarious in it. So is Jack Black.
News, sports, and weather coming up in just about a couple minutes here, folks. And on the other side of the news, we will read your text. I'm going to tell you about a really cool new vodka, and we're going to tell you about some Super Bowl snacks that were created here in Wisconsin that you can pair with this new vodka with a really curious flavor. Conrad, do you remember hot dog water?
Of course, it's my favorite beverage.
This is along those lines, and it's very strange. So we'll do all that after news, sports, and weather, which is coming up in just a minute. We've got another film opening this weekend. I'm very excited about this. Send Help with Rachel McAdams.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Dylan
I'm going to see
O'Brien.
it.
It's getting great reviews. It's a Sam Raimi film. Sam Raimi, of course, did Army of Darkness, I think The Evil Dead, but he's just a simple plan. He's a fantastic director, and he's friends with the Coen brothers. Makes very similar movies to the Coens, but I am very excited. This trailer has been playing in theaters for about 6 months now, and the first time I saw it, I thought, oh, that looks really great. And then they give you the release date. I'm like, oh, my God. So we've been watching this trailer, which even if it's for a good movie, I don't need to see a trailer 84 times. So, but the movie is finally out this weekend. Rachel McAdams, Dylan O'Brien, and Sam Raimi. And another one. Are you a fan of Highlander or Outlander? I'm sorry.
No.
I think it's mostly, I think women love it. My wife loved it, but that is getting a final season. And apparently people are crying at the trailer. So,
all right.
You got that coming out. But we're going to tell you about really fun Super Bowl snacks that were created here in Wisconsin, and a really unique flavor of vodka you could pair those with. And we're going to read your text. That's all after news, sports, and weather, which is coming up next. Adam Hess is here from WRCO, who makes the popcorn pick of the weekend, Aliens, in hour number 3. This is Nightlight with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Of Sonia Massey inside her Springfield home in 2024. Massey, a black woman, had called 911 to report a possible intruder. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
The Elder Care Locator is here to help you live your best life as you age at home. Our call center advisors are ready to connect you with trustworthy local experts. Help is just a phone call away at 1-800-677-1116.
Being blind doesn't look how others may think.
Retinitis pigmentosa aimed to overwhelm my family.
It tried to cut me down. I know where to find support.
Learn more at fightingblindness.org, a public service message from the Foundation Fighting Blindness.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Partly cloudy tonight, a low pretty close to zero. Sunshine for tomorrow, high in the mid-teens. Warming up through the teens into the 20s this weekend with some snow late Sunday into early Monday. And the milder air sticks around for next week. Currently, it's 10 above.
Civic Media.
Reading aloud to children sharpens their listening skills, expands their vocabularies, and nurtures a lifelong love of reading. That's why Reading is Fundamental, the nation's leading children's literacy nonprofit, offers free monthly read-alouds by popular authors through its Rally to Read program. Visit rallytoread.org to watch the read-alouds and discover exciting reading activities for school and home. Visit rallytoread.org today.
Out here in the middle of these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on Earth. That's how it feels when you're struggling with your mental health. But you don't have to feel alone. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
I was stuck in a state of panic and endless rituals. So I made the call. Mental health care works when you...
Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now, a guy who likes to dine and dash, Pete Schwaba.
Welcome back to Nite Lite, folks. It is time for hour number 2, or Act 2, as I like to call it. It is great to have you here tonight. We got a fun question, some great guests. If you missed hour number 1, it is available in podcast form at civicmedia.us. Conrad and I talked about a lot of things to open the show. The fact that weddings are 36 G's now on average, 36 grand. We talked about Deirdre Irwin, a Pulaski native here in Northeast Wisconsin, who is in the Olympics competing in the biathlon event, and a local hat company, or a hat company, Stormy Cromer, put out hats so that she could identify her family in the stands. I think that's really cool. She will compete in the Winter Olympics that start next Friday night, February 6th. She is also a Michigan Tech graduate and part of the National Guard. I think that's really cool. I don't know much about the biathlon, but because of this, I will be cheering for Deirdre Irwin. So
definitely.
I also mentioned that leading up to the Olympics, we are going to feature an athlete every night who is from Wisconsin, and we will do a deep dive into said athlete and tell you a little bit about them. I think it's more fun to cheer for people when you have sort of a personal connection to an athlete or a performer or whatever. So we'll talk about that. We'll start that off tomorrow night. So that will be fun. And Joe Schwaba, my son, came by to talk about the movie 28 Years Later, Bone Temple. Joe drops by periodically to give us some quick thumbnail movie reviews and talk about movies I haven't seen yet. So that was fun. All of it is available at civicmedia.us. Coming up this hour, Adam Hess will be here. Adam is a host at WRCO in Richland Center here at Civic Media, and he hosts a great show. We're going to tell you all about the shows that he hosts on over on WRCW. One of them is Weekend Wake Up, and one of them is Prime Movers Saturdays. And I've got questions because they're both great shows. Adam is going to make the popcorn pick of the week. So by the time he leaves this show tonight, folks, you will have a movie pick, possibly of a film you haven't seen yet. And, maybe it'll be the greatest film ever. We'll see what kind of movies Adam likes at 6:35. And then in hour number 3, Becky Ferrara will be here talking about her new book, First Contact, a great book about aliens. She did a deep dive into aliens. She is a science reporter. There is no conspiracy. She debunks things. She presents things. She's just a very solid reporter. And she approached her book the same way that she approaches her work that she does for the New York Times and Vice. and the MIT review. So she does great work. She will be here, and I'm very excited to talk to Becky. We actually already recorded that, so we'll play it at 7:35. She was a lot of fun and very informative if you're into aliens, and who isn't? I like some good alien talk every once in a while. Con, I think at this point we should reintroduce our question of the night.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
Question. Question.
Pregunta.
Question.
Question.
Okay, I have a question. Questions?
This question.
Domanda.
Question.
Question.
Questions.
So, all right, we all know sweethearts. We got them handed out as kids. They're Valentine's Day candy, and they have little messages on them, like "Be mine," "Marry me," all kinds of sweet messages. But the company has kind of pivoted, and they're doing more contemporary stuff now, like shared rent or shared login information. Just some phrases that we use now, and I think, you know, that's interesting. Not quite as romantic, but they've definitely updated it. And Conrad's was Quick Trip.
Yep.
And if you listen to this show regularly, you know why. Conrad has a thing for Quick Trip. That is his favorite restaurant. And you know what? To each his own. So good for you. I said Dance Off. And my favorite so far, and we have to read some text here in a moment, was 6-7 by Dave on the stream. And one of our texters, John, also suggested 6-7. 6-7. So we will we'll break those down. We'll read some of your texts, and we got a lot of social media responses we'll get to as well. So all of that. All right, Con, we got to talk about this because there is a new flavored vodka. When you think vodka, what flavor comes to mind that you would maybe want to add to this particular spirit?
Probably something sweet, you know.
Correct.
Something so you can mix it well with like a Sprite or water or something.
Totally agree. However, not everybody feels that way. So yesterday I teased the idea that there are some Wisconsin Super Bowl snacks out there, made in Wisconsin for Wisconsin, and we never got to it. So tonight we're going to talk about that and this vodka. Okay, this is a vodka that is, and I saw this on Newswire. Not a flavor you'd think would go with vodka, but Tabasco. They've teamed up to put Tabasco in vodka. Now, if you drink a Bloody Mary, you probably get that kind of vibe from it, but this is not just Tabasco being added to vodka. They're like seriously mashing it up with pepper mash, and they're making it like really grainy or organic or whatever you want to call it. The first ad for it features 4 people drinking it next to a volcano. So it's hot, it's spicy. Does that appeal to you at all on any level, Conrad?
No. Also because I don't like Bloody Marys.
You don't like Bloody Marys?
No, but
wow,
that just sounds gross to me. I don't know. I would give it a try, but I don't think I'd like it.
I got to tell you, a Bloody Mary is kind of one of the things I miss the most about drinking. I love the idea of getting up after getting really hammered the night before and having a Bloody Mary. It's like the hair of the dog.
I just don't like tomato juice, so.
Yeah, I'm with you there. But overall, with the spices they put in it and the celery and the olives, it's a great drink. It's a glorious drink. But you can pair that Tabasco vodka with some of these snacks that were created in Wisconsin. They were made locally, and let's get to these, Con. Did you look these over?
Yeah, one of them. Well, one of them was we had on the show before.
Oh yeah,
and
Sherry.
That was yes, correct.
That's Ghana. Oh, that was the candy from Ghana. Oh my gosh, that was so good. It was like peanut brittle, right?
It was fantastic. Yeah.
Why haven't we had him back on? Let's track that guest down and have him back on because he brought us free stuff. And let's be honest, no, it was so good.
It was.
I don't know what it is or what he does, but he's got this recipe. It's outstanding. So that wouldn't go good with Tabasco vodka, but it would be a great Super Bowl snack. Palo popcorn. Have you had that?
Yeah, I've had their cheese popcorn. Their white,
white
fantastic.
Cheddar. Yeah,
caramel. It's
made
fantastic
here in
popcorn.
Absolutely. Door County Bakery's Corsica Sticks. They are named after the Mediterranean island of Corsica. These mini crunchy toasts are perfect for eating with dips and spreads. And you can get them in a Sister Babe bakery. You can add them to an antipasto. They're good with olives and cheese. Now, that's a Super Bowl snack. And all of this comes, by the way, of Up North News. So thank you for that, Ellie Bordeaux, who's been on the show. She was just on last week. Does great work. Rural Route 1, based in southwestern Wisconsin since 1983. Another popcorn brand. Homegrown here in Wisconsin with all the classic flavors they have, like cheddar, maple pecan. That's not a classic. That's different, and that sounds glorious. Jardettos. Am I saying that right, Con? Would you say that Jardettos or Gardettos?
Gardettos.
Gardettos? Okay.
You haven't had these?
No, I have not. What is it?
Oh, you have missed out on so much.
Oh, got to get out more, I guess.
Gardettos are fantastic. You go to any gas station, anything, they're there.
It's like an Italian snack, right? A mix or something?
Yeah. They're one of my favorite, like if I'm going to the if I'm on a road trip and we go to the gas station, we're getting some snacks. That's what I'm getting.
Okay.
And I didn't even know that it is made in Milwaukee in 1932.
How about that? Do they sell these at Quick Trip?
They sell them at every gas station you go to.
Okay. Well, there you go, folks. These are some great snacks you can check out. They're all made right here in Wisconsin. And check out Up North News, too, because, I forgot about that brittle from Ghana. That is so good. There's one more here, too, I liked a lot. Fortune Favors, candied pecans. Love a good candy pecan. Dynamite stuff. And that would go maybe not too bad with the Tabasco vodka, but check out the Tabasco vodka as well if you're brave. We've got to get to some text here. Let's go to the text line where Monica from Mount Horeb says, if these hearts are going to be more realistic, one should read Give Up and another Stalker. And then Monica, sorry, I may be jaded. It sounds like it, Monica, but maybe well-traveled is a better word. I think you're pretty cool. Chris from Sun Prairie in this area code 773. There you go. Chicago area code says, I got next round. That candy tastes like chalk. That's all I got. That is my 3 picks. So fantastic. That's all I got should go on the heart. It's kind of like what Joe was saying. But candy tastes like chalk. Love that one. And I got next round. So these are like you're wolfing them down in a bar. We got some text here from our pal John Murray in Madison as well. John is in the 608, and he says, on the sweetheart, 6'7", just like Dave said on the stream. Anything to use 6'7". I love it. And he says, and John also says, I found out what it means, but swore not to tell. It's just lyrics in a song. Right?
Yeah.
So it's not a big secret. I mean, it's kind of weird that kids got into it like they did, but he says, I swore not to tell. And he also adds, Pinky promised. Okay. I'm trying to put you on the spot, John.
We'll never find it out then.
We'll never find out. Thanks for nothing, John. He says, no house for you. And then Melissa says, okay, boys, for the sweetheart candy, you can do pronouns he, him, she, her, blah, blah, or just an eggplant emoji.
Wow. The eggplant emoji would, all right. You handing out at school.
That's like supposed to be like a penis, right? Isn't that why people use the eggplant? They're not pushing vegetables. That's supposed to be suggestive, correct?
Yeah, I mean, unless eggplants are pretty tasty, though, so.
I'm only a partial fan. Maybe Melissa is just really health conscious. I don't know.
If you fry some eggplant, like just in the air fryer, and it just have a little salt on it,
yes.
It's dynamite.
I would do that. I don't like it when it's served with like pasta, when they kind of steam it. It's all mushy. I'm not a fan of that. But all right, we've got more text to read from our social media posts. We're going to do all that. Adam Hess is here from WRCO. In just about 10 minutes after the news, folks, he's going to make the popcorn pick of the week. And when we come back, we got to mention Frozen Waterfalls. And I'm also going to tell you about a new show that's coming out, season 2. One of the funniest things I've ever seen. That's all coming up next. This is Nightlight with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Wabanon to Alloway. This is 97.9 WGBW.
You're listening to Nightlight with Pete Schwaba. And now is the perfect time to highlight our final mocktail of the week, courtesy of Sturgeon Spirits. Yes, you heard right. This dry January, Sturgeon Spirits has had an extensive list of drinks that can be made as non-alcoholic, so everyone can drink together. This week, their final featured mocktail is the Firecracker, because we all need a little extra warmth with this weather. Here's how to make the Firecracker. Pour 1.5 ounces of habanero syrup and 2 ounces of mango juice in a glass. Top with pink lemonade and serve. Turn up the heat by subbing the habanero syrup for habanero vodka to make this mocktail into your next favorite cocktail. Stop by their tasting room in Oshkosh and mention our show Nightlight to get $1 off this week's featured mocktail. Dry, damp, or not, there is no reason to exclude anyone this January. And keep an eye out for a fun announcement coming soon. That's Sturgeon Spirits, local flavor mixed with a little creativity. More Nightlight after this quick commercial break.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify. When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
We are the National Park Foundation, and together with you, we're creating a future where every person, every generation gets their chance at an unforgettable moment. Learn more at nationalparks.org/.
Welcome back. This is Nightlight. I am Pete Schwaba, and you've got the Civic Media Radio Network. It is great to have you here, folks. It is a Thursday night. Temperatures are creeping ever upward at a snail's pace, but we are getting there. At least we left that horrible, frigid nonsense in the rear view. Hey, if you're looking for a really funny show, I don't know if you've seen Jury Duty season 1, which came out in 2023. Some of the best laughs I've ever had were watching that show. It's a mockumentary and it's kind of a hidden camera show. And there is one unsuspecting jury member who the joke is on, basically. All the other jury members are part of a troupe or are in on the joke. And last in season 1, they had James Marsden, very funny actor, very good actor, who was also in the joke because it was shot in LA. So he played an alternate juror. Conrad, did you see this show?
No, I haven't, but it sounds interesting.
So funny. And what made it funny was the guy they were playing the joke on was a really good guy. Like there's one scene where this Asian guy is playing this game. I don't know if it's real or not, but he made it up and he said play sticks, because there's a lot of scenes where they're just hanging out waiting to go into the courtroom, and those are the best. And he says this game is called Sticks, and he keeps losing at it, and he keeps telling the guy who doesn't know what's going on, I owe you $2,000 now. The guy is just like, you don't have to pay me. Oh, come on. No, you don't have to pay me. Like, and then there's one guy who's complaining that his girlfriend is off having sex with all these guys on a tropical island somewhere, and James Marsden is trying to console him. And this guy is just watching all of this go on, having no idea it's all fictitious. It's a really funny show. And the second season comes out, I want to say March 20th. It's called it's called Jury Duty Company Retreat, or Jury Duty Presents Company Retreat. It's the second season of this great show. Highly recommend. You have time to watch the first season if you want to check it out, folks. Very funny stuff. Okay, so let's talk. Did you know waterfalls could freeze, Conrad?
I didn't.
And I am such an indoor guy.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of embarrassed that I didn't know that. Like, I knew it could freeze once it fell, but on Up North News, we were just talking about Up North News, they did this great piece about frozen waterfalls that you can check out around the state.
Yeah.
And they just freeze. Like, the water's falling. They're like icicles. I get that part of it. But when the water is so powerful and coming down with such force, I didn't know it could freeze like that. And these pictures, if you go to Up North News, are incredible. There's one in Bayfield, which I still have never been to, but it is supposed to be one of the most beautiful areas of our state. And I mean, I live in northern Wisconsin. Somehow I can still go 3 hours or 4 hours north of where I am and not be in Bayfield yet. But Willow Falls is another one. The Apostle Island Ice Caves. That's what it is, near Bayfield, the Bayfield Peninsula. Beautiful stuff. Big Manitou Falls is another one. Brownstone Falls. This is great stuff. This was a good find. And you found this on Up North News, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Stevens Falls, okay, near Governor Dodge State Park. And Cascade Falls near a town I can't pronounce. Osceola?
Osceola?
Is that how are there towns in Wisconsin I don't know how to produce? But that Moscato every night. I have no idea how to say that.
Muscadet.
We've heard from enough people.
Yeah.
All right. So coming up after news, sports, and weather, Adam Hess will be here from WRCO in Richland Center, part of our civic media team here, and he is going to make the popcorn pick of the week. Janet on social media in response to our question of the night, which is, what would you put on a sweetheart? What would your message be? They've pivoted and they're putting more contemporary messages on these little sweethearts, like split rent, shared login, 6-7 if you're Dave or John. Janet says, I've heard statements that are supposed to really mean I love you, like watch for deer, text when you get home. Probably too long for tiny hearts, though. I think you could do it, Janet. Mike on the social media question says, OU812, very famous Van Halen, and you got eating in there. I like what you did there, Mike. Very well done. Amanda Nimmer from WGBW says tacos with a question mark.
Yeah.
Now, see, there you go, Con. So when you start, I know I don't think you're in a relationship right now. We don't really discuss our personal lives, which is fine. But you will probably take a girl to Quick Trip for the first date for some chocolate.
They got
milk.
many tacos there,
Yeah.
right?
Okay, that's where I was going with. Like, that's a great one, Amanda. Thank you. Mike Desitel also says 6-7. That's our third 6-7 of the night. My pal Dave Hendrick says no more cheese. That could be in relation to the messages they put on the sweethearts in the past, or a dairy issue. Eric Rathsack, in response to Quick Trip, said good one. See, now he's just encouraging you, Conrad. And I like Eric a lot, but that doesn't need to be done. Well, or he probably does. Vince Moranto on social media says ice out. Oh, there you go. And he's not talking about the waterfalls, Conrad. He wants ice out. I would love to see Vince walk up to an ice person or member or whatever they are and hand him that sweet. Maybe you could build a bridge there, Vince. I don't know. Maybe that would help. Daniel Wheeler says, let's nap. That's a good one. I've had lots of friends I've taken a nap with. Robert Bro on social media says, seat down, ? That works. These are awesome. Scott Tom says, shovel it now. Are you talking about the sweetheart, Tom, Scott, or outside because this has been such a rough winter? How we doing, Con, on time?
We got about 30 seconds.
30 seconds? I can read another one. Scott Tom says, 3 inches? It's the law? Also, Grey Poupon. Oh, these are fantastic. All right. We are coming back after news, sports, and weather with Adam Hess from WRCO in Richland Center. And the popcorn pick of the week is on the way, folks. This is Pete Schwaba and Nite. So glad you're here on the Civic Media Radio Network.
From Denmark to De Pere, this is 97.9 WGBW.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Democrats in the White House say they've reached a deal to avert a government shutdown and temporarily fund Homeland Security. President Trump urging lawmakers to pass legislation to make the midnight deadline. Fulton County election officials vowing a legal battle after the FBI carried out a warrant at the Fulton County Election Hub and Operations Center yesterday. And now lawmakers want to know why Tulsi Gabbard was also on scene.
The letter from the top Democrats on the House and Senate Intelligence Committees to the Director of National Intelligence says it's deeply concerning that Tulsi Gabbard took part in a domestic law enforcement action. The ranking members say Gabbard should be focused on foreign threats. They're now calling on the DNI to appear before their committees to explain why she was on hand for the FBI search, what legal authorities she relied on, and whether she has any new information to share about foreign interference in the 2020 election.
ABC's Stephen Portnoy. Saks Fifth Avenue discounts offshoot off Fifth is shuttering more than 50 of its locations. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Hey, Adam, can you hear me?
I sure can. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, sounds perfect. Just wanted to come in
great.
Check audio here quick.
Yeah, sounds great. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, we'll be back in about 3 minutes, all right?
Okay. I'll be right here waiting.
All right, thank you.
Hey, appreciate it. Thanks.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Partly cloudy tonight, a low pretty close to 0. Sunshine for tomorrow, high in the mid-teens. Warming up through the teens into the 20s this weekend with some snow late Sunday into early Monday. And the milder air sticks around for next week. Currently, it's 10 above.
You're a storyteller, negotiator, artist, innovator. Whatever your passion, whatever your skills, behind the scenes or in front, you belong here. A career in broadcast media. Local radio and TV stations in every town and city need someone like you. So do what you love and bring your talent to life. Your passion, your skills, your career. You belong here. Learn more at youbelonghere.media.
Small businesses are the heart of America. As the nation's largest nonprofit resource of expert business mentoring, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses for free. Find a mentor today at score.org.
Teachers are diverse, skilled leaders, innovating to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Teaching shapes lives. Are you ready? Explore teaching at teach.org, supported by the U.S. Department of Education and 1 million teachers of color.
Is getting vaccinated on your to-do list?
It's time for the Nite Popcorn Pick of the Week, where we recommend a movie that you'll either enjoy or won't. Here's your host, Pete Schwaba.
Hey, welcome back. It is time for the Popcorn Pick of the Week. We always have so much fun recommending a movie for you guys to watch heading into the weekend. I am halfway through Song Sung Blue, and I'm embarrassed I haven't seen the whole film yet, and I don't think I'm truly a Wisconsinite until I finish that movie. But I'm on it, and we are going to make the Popcorn Pick of the Week. And joining us this week to do it, I'm very excited this worked out. It is a pleasure to welcome back to Nightlight my civic media colleague and host of Weekend Wake Up and Prime Movers Saturdays on WRCO FM in Richland Center, Mr. Adam Hess. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Pete. Glad to be on. I really appreciate it. And I've been thinking, I've done my research about your show, and I listen to it quite often. Your popcorn pick, it's going to be crazy. I am going to shock the world. Well, maybe not with my popcorn pick. So with my pick anyway, you know, I'm going to throw my 2 cents in there. So we appreciate you having us on.
Really appreciate the effort. So we'll get to that. We'll talk about some snacks first and movies we like, and then we'll do a drum roll, and I'll ask you for the pick. So I'm glad you have it ready. You're all set, and I have no doubt you're going to crush this, just basically because there are no right or wrong answers. So. But also because you're a sharp guy, so it'll be fun. Thank you for being here. Any thoughts, Adam, before we start, on what you would put on a sweetheart?
You know, I'm kind of a classic guy. I was a child of the 80s and 90s, formative years. And, you know, I remember the sweethearts that said, you know, be my Valentine, and, you know, be mine, and I'm yours. And I've got one that you could give to a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a friend, or a stranger. You ready for this?
Absolutely.
Here we go. Be a good human.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, huh?
So simple. And we need it.
It is. I'm not sure all of that would fit on one of the little hearts. It may have to be one of the medium-sized hearts, a little bigger, but just be a good human. And that works great everywhere. You go to the theater, be a good human. You're at the gas station, you're giving somebody away your candy heart. Just be a good human. That's all it really takes, Pete.
And that's the kind of thing, Adam, it's interesting that that's your message. You could give that to a random stranger, and it's not suggestive in any way. It's just, hey, this is random. Be a good human. I love it. So,
hey, you know what? If you are a good human already, then the heart's a bonus. And if you're not a good human, gives you something to think about.
And it just might put you over the top. Like, let's say you approach someone that you're attracted to, and you give that to them. Maybe that's all you need, buddy. Maybe that closes the deal.
You know, because he or she would know that, hey, Adam's a pretty good human if he wants somebody else to be a good human. You're right. You know, if I weren't married already, Pete, I'd try that. I may still try that with my wife. I may give her a heart that says be a good human, and we'll see how that works out.
You do that, or get a hall pass and just say, honey, give me the night to go hand out these hearts and see what happens. Just so you can report back here. I would really appreciate that.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm a social media guy, so I'll bring her along, and she can actually, hide in the car or something and videotape me on the street giving those away.
Why is it that if you were a guy and you gave those away, people might go, oh, that's great, thank you. But if like a woman, especially if she's like attractive, went out and gave that to someone, a guy would mean she wants to sleep with me. Like that's how he would take it, right?
Yeah, that's the double standard we live in. And unfortunately, I think that's just the male mentality. You know, and I, right or wrong, I mean, you know, I remember in my youth when you're trying to score points with the fairer sex, all they really had to do was look at me, Pete.
Right. I think she's interested.
I'm going to get her phone number.
There you go. This is great. Well, it's great to have you here. Let's talk movies, and then we'll get into some things. I want to hear what you're doing there at WRCO and the shows you're hosting. They just sound great. And we're going to talk a little Alice in Dairyland as well, which was the whole reason I saw your great piece about that, and I wanted to have you on. So I'm glad this worked out. But let's start with movies. How do you like to watch movies, Adam? Are you a theater guy or a home? You like to stream them at home? What do you do?
Yeah, so in my youth, and we still have them. We're one of the lucky cities. My hometown of Richland Center, Pete. We have a drive-in movie theater. We also have an indoor theater. Yeah, and just really quickly, Starlight 14 is the name of our drive-in theater, and not only is it just such a great gathering place for the community, but the radio station, we have a really close working relationship. Phil Nee, he's our morning man, host of Those Were the Days, and just all around a great guy. Phil is. Once a year, maybe twice a year, we do what's called a throwback night at the drive-in. And we let our listeners sort of pick which 2 movies they want to watch. They vote on them. We give them a list. And then Phil will broadcast live, and we'll all stop down there and have a good time. We're broadcasting live over the radio and at the drive-in up until movie time. And then we, then we just start playing music on the radio, and we enjoy Grease, American Graffiti, whatever the fan base picked. So my heart is at the drive-in. I remember to this day the very first movie I was old enough to drive my car with a carload of friends to go see at the drive-in. I don't remember what the second feature was, but I remember what the first one was. So it would go in the order of drive-in theater, home streaming, then an indoor theater. But I'll tell you what, those are all great, Pete. If you have a movie, you can't go wrong. There's no wrong answer.
That's a great point. And you were the first person since I've been doing this segment that said a drive-in theater. I love that. And I remember the first drive-in films I saw was a Rocky double feature. It was like probably 1980. It was Rocky 1 and 2, whenever. And my dad took all 5 of us. And I don't know if he lost a bet with my mom or whatever. It was like.
Did you guys have the old station wagon that you could go clear in the back and then pop that window open and watch the movie? Because if you've never been to a drive-in in an old 1970s or 80s, I think it's like a Buick Century wagon, a state wagon, you sort of missed out on your childhood. And the kids of today, and God bless the Priuses and all those great cars that are getting 85 miles to the gallon. But if you didn't have a 5 gallon per mile Vista Cruiser or the estate wagon, you miss some childhood there at the drive-in.
It's so funny you said it. We did have a Buick Century wagon, and it was bright yellow. I don't know if my folks got a deal from Lynch Buick in Chicago or what, but it was just the worst looking car ever. And being
Pete, I hope they got a deal. I hope they got a deal.
Must have, because like you roll into a new town in like where we moved to Marinette, and it's like, oh, that's an interesting car. Like everybody's judging me, but we didn't.
You're instantly judged.
Totally. But I wish we had thought of that. We never popped the back. It was kind of rainy, and we had that speaker. You know how they put that speaker through the window, so the sound is not great, but it's more for the experience.
So I'll tell you what, Starlight 14, many years ago, I want to say maybe a decade ago, they bought a transmitter system, and you tune your radio at the drive-in theater to whatever it happens to be, 88.1 or whatever frequency they're using, and you never have to bring that speaker into your window again. Because I'll be honest with you, that's part of the nostalgia. But that speaker always sounded like the adults on Charlie Brown.
Yeah,
you could hear some of it, and a lot of it was wah 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 wah, and then you're like, "What'd they say?" And then your mom would be like, "Be quiet, we're watching the movie."
Exactly.
So yeah, the FM transmitter system has really done well for Starlight 14.
Have you ever snuck into a drive-in movie, Adam, with friends, like put a couple of them in the trunk like people used to do? I've never done that, but I've heard people have done that.
So I'll tell you a story. In high school, I had a 1973 Dodge Tradesman 100 van. And I had a couple of couches back there and some speakers, and it was just it was a real mobile little unit for playing euchre or hanging out with friends. But if you grabbed a hold of the couch and you turned it towards the driver, you could fit 3 or 4 people behind the couch. And if they weren't opening the back door of the van, they weren't finding them. So here's a shout out to Randy, Chuck, and Kenny, who we all got into the drive-in Starlight 14, no less, for one admission. And they looked at me like, "You're going to the drive-in by yourself?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am," which I wasn't.
It looks a little suspicious. Just one tonight, please.
Yeah, Pete, they had to know.
They had to know.
I'm going and buying 4 popcorns. They had to know.
Right. My guest is Adam Hess. He is a colleague here at Civic Media and does great work at Richland Center as the host of Weekend Wake Up and Prime Mover Saturdays on WRCO FM. And if you're lucky enough, you can check out one of these events they do at the Starlight 14 there in Richland Center. It sounds like an absolute blast. Do you have a favorite genre, Adam, in terms of movies you like to watch?
Yeah, I love series movies and from basically from my youth. Back to the Future, I'll watch all 3 parts. Part 2 is my favorite because part 2 was the very first movie that I drove a vehicle to go see at the drive-in.
Oh, nice.
Indiana Jones, love that series. Crocodile Dundee. Part 3 was a little weak in Los Angeles, but if there's nothing else on, I'll watch it. But part 1 and 2, I always consider that really a 2-part movie series, right?
Right.
But yeah, and I'm a nostalgia guy. I do the this weekend entertainment history, and it's a big to do. I always make a big to do about telling you about stuff that happened in the past.
Yeah.
If you visit our Facebook page, I'm always doing a Throwback Thursday. If you visit my personal Facebook page, you would think it's still 1990. And Pete, I'm okay with that. As long as the people around me, my listeners enjoy it, my wife tolerates it, I'm gonna keep doing it.
You could do a lot worse, that's for sure.
Right?
All right, so you like to watch drive-in, then home, then theater. You like the action movies, the franchise action movies that we all grew up with in the 80s. Outstanding stuff. What is your favorite movie snack, Adam? Like, let's say you're sitting down to watch Indiana Jones at home or in the theater.
There's a story behind this, Pete. I'm a Junior Mint guy. Popcorn and Junior Mint. Well, one time, my wife and my daughter and we went to a movie theater. It was an indoor up at Lake Delton. And I bought the $12 box of Junior Mints because we're going to watch Over the Hedge and I'm going to share my Junior Mints and we're going to have a great time. Unbeknownst to me, I was sitting in the seat, and as I'm putting one Junior Mint in my mouth, apparently 2 or 3 were falling down in my lap and then under me somehow. So when we got up to leave, my daughter, who was probably 8 or 9 at the time when Over the Hedge came out, maybe 10, she was my stepdaughter, so she always called me Adam and not Dad. And we're out in the lobby, and she goes, Adam, you have a problem.
Oh no.
And I'm like, well, we all know that, but what do you think my problem is? And she goes, you sat on half a box of Junior Mints. And I thought she meant I actually sat on a box, and I crushed the box. I'm like, oh, ha. No, I went into the restroom and I was picking Junior Mints off my backside for quite a few minutes. They had to wait out in the lobby for me. But I'll tell you what, even though they betrayed me at Lake Delton, Junior Mints, that's still my go-to for the movies.
My question, did you eat the Junior Mints after pulling them off your pants?
Yeah, well, there's nobody around to deny or confirm that, so we're going to say no. And we're going to go with that because that's probably the safer bet, just to not gross everyone out. So, yeah, we threw them away. That's what we did.
All right, so we've got about a minute before we have to go to a break. Adam Hess is my guest. We are inching closer to his popcorn pick of the week. Does your snack change at home? Do you have a different snack you like when you watch movies at home?
I'll mix the popcorn up a little bit, Pete. Like I'll put a little ranch, dry ranch flavoring on it, or I'll make my own little caramel to put over it, or I'll just have popcorn plain. But it's usually caramel because I love caramel or popcorn and chocolate together. So it's usually like a Junior Mint, but whatever chocolate's available. If it's a plain old Hershey bar, the ones that everybody pushes away, I'll grab them with my popcorn because then you have your sweet and your salty, and then I am ready for Marty McFly and Back to the Future trilogy.
This is awesome. All right, Adam Hess, we are coming back. We're going to do a very short break, and very soon you're going to hear his popcorn pick of the week after I ask him what kind of cocktail he likes with a movie. This is Pete Schwaba and Nightlight on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Rhythm to the brain. La-da-da-da-dee. La-da-da-da-da. The grocery store, the supermarket.
It's the Eco Minute, powered by Clean Wisconsin, your environmental voice since 1970. I'm Amy Barrio. Environmental groups across the state, including Clean Wisconsin, are calling for a pause in AI data center projects. The groups issued a joint statement calling on lawmakers to develop a strategic framework that will ensure Wisconsin communities are not harmed by the massive power and water-hungry facilities. That call includes no burning of fossil fuels to power AI data centers and no increases in energy bills. Wisconsin's landfills are filling up with food. That's according to a new study from the DNR. Wasted food and food scraps account for 20% of the trash sent to Wisconsin landfills. That's the largest single category. The agency is working to reduce per capita food waste disposal in landfills by 50% in the next 4 years. Right now on the Defender podcast, new hope that a bipartisan solution for state PFAS funding is at hand and the industry group that could kill it. Listen at cleanwisconsin.org or wherever you get your podcasts.
When it comes to game day, you play to win. And when it's go time, it's Total Wine time. With the lowest prices on your go-to lineup of spirits, beers, seltzers, and wines that'll turn your kitchen counter into the ultimate home tailgate. Total Wine is your home field advantage. Our team will go the extra yard to get you ready for the big game. We've got what you need to tackle game day and every day, only at Total Wine & More. Drink responsibly, B21.
Hey, it's Amanda, and we all know that Northeast Wisconsin has some of the best events around, but trying to find them all can be tricky. So here at WGBW, we decided to do the work for you. Prevent boredom on any night by going to WGBW.fm and click events in the top right corner. You'll never have to spend forever scrolling to find out what's going on in your area. And if you got an event to share, hit us up by emailing info@WGBW.fm, bringing you local news and timeless hits while giving you the 411 on what's happening in New Wisco.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Let's talk rechargeable battery safety with tips from the National Fire Protection Association. Only buy products with a safety certification mark. Charge devices on hard surfaces. Don't use off-brand cords and always unplug when fully charged. Charge into fire safety at fpw.org/battery.
When a person calls 988, they're connected to a crisis counselor.
A caller can expect to talk about coping skills.
They can chat, they can text, and when they come out on the other side, they're feeling better.
Call or text 988 or chat 9.
We are jamming through Act 2 here on Nightlight on this Thursday night. It is a popcorn pick of the weeknight, and joining me to make tonight's pick is my colleague over at WRCO in Richland Center, the great host of Weekend Wake Up and Prime Mover Saturdays, Mr. Adam Hess. So before the break, we've learned that Adam likes Junior Mints, he likes popcorn, he likes the drive-through, then streaming, and then the shared experience in a movie theater. What is your favorite, Adam? Do you have a cocktail that you like to drink when you watch movies?
Yeah, I do. It's a brandy old fashioned sweet. I actually, I was on the air late December, right before New Year's, with Greg Bach from the network here, and I shared my recipe, and you can find that by searching our news articles on WRCO or even Civic Media News. I wrote an entire story, the history of the brandy old fashioned, my favorite brandy to use, what muddler to use. I gave a link on what muddler to buy. It's a $7.99 muddler from Amazon, by the way. But yeah, nice. Brandy old fashioned. If it's not Sprite, and if I'm not going anywhere and I'm just going to be chilling at home watching a streaming service, and I will partake in a brandy old fashioned. And it's a Wisconsin drink. It's a supper club drink. And that's going to lead me into one of my current picks. I'll tell you about movie wise. So,
all right,
but
cool.
Yeah, a brandy old fashioned.
It's also very hard to sneak that into a movie theater. So I assumed you were talking about.
You sound like you're talking from experience there, Pete.
I've snuck. Listen, this is kind of embarrassing. I haven't had, pardon me, I haven't had a drink in 3 years. Not court ordered or anything like that. I just chose to take a little break.
Right.
And now it's over 3 years. And my wife and I will sneak non-alcoholic like Blue Moons or Stellas into the theater. And that feels really subversive in a weird way.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. You know, it's just taking it to the man. That's all it is, Pete. You could be sneaking in a bottle of water, but if you know you got away with it, yeah, that means a lot.
That's right. There you go. I love that. Okay. So let's see. What else can we do here? I think we're ready. Conrad, if you please, I think we're ready to get Adam's popcorn pick of the week. So a drum roll, please.
All right, here we go. Entertainment pick of the week, Crocodile Part 2, Crocodile Dundee Part 2, My Fantasy, Back to the Future Part 2, Sci-Fi, Star Trek First Contact, and for current, Claire Sardina was a guest on Those Were the Days with Phil Ney. He interviewed her. She and her husband were the basis for, drumroll, Song Sung Blue. It's a Wisconsin flick.
Yeah. So is that you mentioned those other films, but the drums were was that a qualifier or is just Song Sung Blue your pick, Adam?
Song Sung Blue is going to be my pick for. See, I have real trouble isolating, what's my favorite movie. So I have to categorize. Currently that's my favorite pick. And I say, go out, watch it. It's on Prime. That's where I streamed it on Prime Video. Definitely. But if we ever want to talk, sci-fi, we're going to always go back to Star Trek. Fantasy is going to take me back to the future. So, for pure entertainment, Crocodile Dundee, you can't go wrong. But right now, if somebody said, what's your favorite movie? You'd have to qualify it. Is it going to be current? Are we talking sci-fi? Are we talking 80s? Are we talking silent?
There's no right or wrong. So it could be old, it could be new. Song Sung Blue is a great pick. And I mentioned this yesterday. I had one of our film critic guests, Matt Miller, was on from Milwaukee. And I said, I don't even feel like a Wisconsinite because I have not seen Song Sung Blue all the way through yet. I watched an hour of it yesterday and it's such a fun movie. And the music is so great. I had to turn it off because I said, I want to watch this with my wife or with someone else and get some food. It's like an event. And I know I didn't get to the more dramatic parts yet, but so far I love it. Kate Hudson is great. That is an excellent pick, Adam.
And I'll tell you, you're still a full-on Wisconsinite because you've got that Wisconsin guilt for not going through it in one sitting. But there's a reason we pay for Netflix and Prime and Paramount Plus and all of those networks. They give us the flexibility to be able to hit pause.
True.
And entertainment now works around our life. Do you remember being a fanatic of like Friends or maybe Seinfeld or whatever you were a fanatic of in the 80s and 90s? You had to be in front of your television at 7 o'clock on a Thursday night with NBC ready to go, or you waited till summertime reruns.
Either that or you popped in a VHS tape and recorded it off the TV, which you never watched after that anyway. But I agree with you. And listen, that's one of the things I have issues like there's good and bad about technology. One of the greatest things ever, though, about it is I can watch Cheers when I'm falling asleep or Seinfeld anytime I want. I love that stuff. Now, you also, I will say, because I rented Song Sung Blue on Prime, $20 I paid for it because I had two guests last night that I knew were going to want to discuss it. So I paid the $20. Did you pay the $20?
It's the Prime Video. I got a bit of a deal on it. I would have to look at my bill because I have it's called Top Tier something, which allows me to family share on my Prime Video. So I'll be honest with you. I'll know once I check the old credit card statement. But if I did pay $20, it's worth it. If I got a better deal, it's that gives me $10 to go buy another Star Trek DVD.
Well, I did not mean to give you homework. Under no circumstances would I do that, but I do think it's worth it. I paid that. I rarely do I do that. I usually wait till it's like $5 or $6, but I did pay the $20, and it was like 24 to buy it. And I was like, well, that's a tough one. But anyway,
but I did the rental. I did not buy it. I did the rental. Yeah,
nice. Well, now that I like it so much, I'm like, I should have just paid the extra $4 and bought it. But Adam Hess is here, folks. His popcorn pick of the week is Song Sung Blue, a great Wisconsin-based movie, even though they didn't shoot it in Wisconsin, and we can talk about that after the break. Can you hang with us for a few more minutes, Adam?
Oh, you bet. I'd love to.
Fantastic. All right, we're talking Alice in Dairyland coming up next, and we'll finish this conversation about Songs on Blue. Adam Hess is here, folks. It's Pete Schwaba and Nightlight on the Civic Media Radio Network.
My sweet Lord, my Lord. Oh, my Lord, I really wanna know you. I really wanna go with you. I really wanna show you, Lord, that it won't take long, my Lord.
If it happens in Wisconsin, you'll hear about it on the station with local news and timeless hits. 97.9 FM, WGBW, Denmark, Green Bay.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. Chairman of the Fulton County Board of Commissioners, Rob Pitts, says they'll contest the seizure of hundreds of election materials from the 2020 presidential election by the FBI.
We will fight this with everything we have.
President Trump has for years claimed fraud in the 2020 election that he lost to Joe Biden. Senate Democrats striking a deal to avert a partial government shutdown and move forward with a package of bills that separates Homeland Security funding. Programs in a 5-bill package will be funded through September, but the Department of Homeland Security would be funded for just the next 2 weeks. The Senate still has to vote on it. Meanwhile, border czar Tom Homan now signaling plans to draw down the number of federal agents in Minneapolis following 2 deadly shootings of U.S. citizens and weeks of protests. President Trump this hour declaring a national emergency with respect to Cuba, saying, quote, the government of Cuba has taken extraordinary actions that harm and threaten the United States. It allows for additional tariffs for countries that sell oil to Cuba. This is ABC News. Some popular food products sold in 3 states are being recalled due to possible exposure to rodent and bird waste.
It's a long list of food products being recalled in 3 states where they were sold in Indiana, Minnesota, and North Dakota. A distribution company may have kept them in unsanitary conditions where they could have come in contact with rodent and bird droppings and urine. That company initiated a recall in December. Now the FDA is classifying it as one that could cause adverse health consequences. The impacted products include things like Nutella, Cheerios, Gatorade, Coca-Cola, Skittles, Sour Patch Kids, and Jolly Ranchers, sold in those 3 states. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Elon Musk today announced Tesla will stop making its S and X models of electric cars. Musk now saying that the company will convert a massive factory into a robot manufacturing plant and a shift to production of Optimus robots. Musk says he set a goal of selling 1 million of the humanoid robots over the next 10 years. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
Listen, retirement is the long game. We can't play about our future or our finances. Let's put ourselves in the right position.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org, brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
My Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard to take.
But early detection allowed us to take control of the situation together.
Talk to your family about seeing a doctor. Go to alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Partly cloudy tonight, a low pretty close to zero. Sunshine for tomorrow, high in the mid-teens. Warming up through the teens into the 20s this weekend with some snow late Sunday into early Monday. And the milder air sticks around for next week. Currently, it's 10 above.
I'm Angela Bassett. For 33 million Americans, one bite can cause a life-threatening reaction. Now, there's a needle-free option for epinephrine. Learn more at foodallergy.org/ready-to-act.
Reading aloud to children sharpens their listening skills, expands their vocabularies, and nurtures a lifelong love of reading. That's why Reading is Fundamental, the nation's leading children's literacy nonprofit, offers free monthly read-alouds by popular authors through its Rally to Read program. Visit rallytoread.org to watch the read-alouds and discover exciting reading activities for school and home. Visit rallytoread.org today.
Kids across America are going to school hungry every day. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures. Learn more at helpnokidhungry.org.
We've all felt left out. And for people who move to this country, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that.
Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Nite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now, a guy who considers a silver medal a participation award, Pete Schwaba.
That's timely. All right, welcome back, folks. This is Nightlight on the Civic Media Radio Network. It is great to have you here, folks. We are celebrating tonight as our popcorn pick of the week on this Thursday night, the Christmas Eve of weeknights. And we just got the pick from Adam Hess, who is still with us. We will be back to Adam in just a moment. If you missed hours 1 and 2 of Nightlight tonight, you can check them out at civicmedia.us. In hour number 1, we talked to Joe Schwaba, my son, who drops by periodically to talk about movies, and we did a quick review of 28 Years, Bone Temple, which he liked a lot. You can catch that on the podcast. We also talked about how, Conrad, weddings are $36,000, so you better marry a rich girl. That's all I'm saying.
I'll start saving up now.
All right, get some candy hearts, some sweethearts with your Quick Trip on there. See where that goes for you. And just maybe get Quick Trip to pay for the wedding. I don't know. I'm just a problem solver.
Quick Trip sponsored wedding. Now that's an
go.
idea.
I'm sure it's been thought of, sadly.
Yeah. Yep.
We also learned that Stranger Things, for all of its popularity, was not the most streamed show in the world or in America. I don't know. I assume the world, but Bluey, our other Civic Media colleague, Stuart J. Waddle's favorite show, Bluey, was the #1 stream show of 2025, which I think is really cool because my kids are older, but thanks to Stuart, I love that show. If you are just joining us, also, you should know that our question of the night, it's kind of complicated, folks, but you remember those little sweetheart candies? They were so fun to hand out in grade school. The Sweetheart Company has kind of pivoted, and they're doing some different cool things with the messages. It used to say, be mine, let's get married. I almost said something really obscene that I probably shouldn't have. But they're changing things up. Now they have messages like split rent, shared login. Our question of the night, which you still have time to get in on, is what words would you put on a sweetheart? Let us know. I said dance off. Conrad said quick trip. And we'd like to read yours as well. Coming up at 7:35 tonight is our author friend, Becky Ferrara. She's great. She wrote a book called First Contact about aliens. Becky is a science reporter who's been published in the New York Times, Popular Mechanics, MIT, Vice. She does really solid investigative journalism. And now she's got a full book about making contact with aliens. And it's really good. So that is pre-recorded content. We'll roll that at 7:35. I highly recommend it if you're at all interested in aliens. And who isn't? Just to get some clarification, earlier, Melissa from the 608 texted us and put an eggplant at the end of her text that she would put on a sweetheart. And I thought that was like, suggestive and like a sexual thing. Conrad, you know where I'm going with this, right? Okay.
Yep.
A penis, let's just say it. Let's get it out there. And I was right, because Melissa texted back and said, sorry, guys, it's totally phallic. You don't have to apologize for that, Melissa. We guessed it. And John Murray says QR codes on all the sweethearts. Get your phones out, kids. Love that one, too. So join the fun, be part of the show, and text us what you would put on a sweetheart. Right now, let's get back to my current guest, Adam Hess. He does great work here at Civic Media over there in Richland Center on WRCO, where he is the host of Weekend Wake Up and Prime Mover Saturdays. His popcorn pick of the week is a great one, especially since we're in Wisconsin. But, Wisconsin aside, Adam, the film totally works. Like, they didn't even film it here.
Oh, yeah.
And no one outside of Wisconsin cares about that. For me personally, I would have loved to have seen Milwaukee in the film.
Yes, 100%. When we were talking about that at the station, because Claire Sardina was a guest on our morning show. Phil did a great job, as he always does, interviewing his guests. But it was a great one. We put that in the news story. But we were talking about, if they could have just actually had a camera and an actor on a street in Milwaukee, I don't care if it's, Cherry Street or wherever, just, I totally agree with you that there should have been a greater Wisconsin connection there. Hey, I want to jump back, and I'm going to change my answer, Pete. I'm going to go with QR codes. I love that. I never thought of that. I'm a technology guy. I'm a QR code creator, and I could route everybody to the Prime Mover site. That's all I'd have to do is put a QR code on a heart and hand them out.
Hey, let's talk about that. I love the idea of the show Prime Mover. Tell people first of all. Let's tell people about the shows Weekend Wake Up and Prime Mover Saturdays.
All right. Well, the Weekend Wake Up I host on Saturday mornings from 5 a.m. until 10 a.m. It's a fun wake up. We have a large rural listenership. So, I know what kind of music the cows like and what they like to give milk to, and I'll play it. And we do a look at this weekend entertainment history, which will play TV themes and cuts from actors and actresses. And we'll play old TV commercials, and we'll talk about what happened this week. And we do that at 7:20 every morning. And then we have news and weather and sports. So it's a true morning show on Saturday, and we just like to, get people up and going and ready to face the world and get ready for Prime Mover, which happens at 8:30, runs from 8:30 until 10. It's a 90-minute show. And it's a buy, sell, trade show where you get to call up and say, hey, I'm going to sell my bike. I'm looking for a Caprice or a Buick station wagon, and you give your number. And so the show has been on the air longer than I have been alive. It started in the early 1970s. Yeah. It was 15 minutes, I believe, when it first started. Here's a fun fact. When I was in, I want to say maybe a late elementary school, so 4th, 5th, 6th grade, somewhere in there, I called Prime Mover, and a man who I ended up working with and I'm friends with to this day, Bill Twining, was hosting Prime Mover. It was, I think, maybe 30 minutes, maybe 60 minutes at that time. I sold a bike on Prime Mover. My dad told me I could get a new bike, but I had a perfectly good bike. I just outgrown it. And he goes, you have to kick in a few bucks. You have to do something with your old bike. So I called old Prime Mover, and I sold my bike. And it was sold that morning, and another kid came out with his parents, and they bought my bike, and I had, $15 to kick in towards my new bike. And who knew that, I started hosting Prime Mover, took a few years off in the 2000s to do a software engineering position. But who knew that I would, 20 years later, I'd be hosting that show. I've been hosting it since 1994. Joanne Krulotz hosted it, our news director, for a couple of years when I was gone.
Joanne.
And it's a great show. We do Prime Mover sports during there, so we'll cover all the local events. We'll get your kid's name on there. If your kid scored 40 points last night, we're going to do our 940 Prime Mover sports. We're going to talk about it. We talk about events coming up. If you have a fundraiser, get on the show. Tell us about it. If you whatever, you have a rummage sale. A little cold now for a rummage sale, but I'll tell you what, in a couple of months it won't be. And we just have a lot of fun with it. It is a great time, great interaction with my listeners and our listeners. Every DJ and every station says this, but I'm going to say it as well, Pete. Our listeners are the best.
I totally believe that when you say that, Adam, because you're from the area. You've been hosting that show since '94. I mean, you sound like you are WRCO. I mean, you're totally ingrained, and I think that's.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm a young whippersnapper there. Phil Nee, our general manager, our morning man, and the guy who hosts Those Were the Days.
Yeah,
he started when I was in junior high. He started at WRCO in 1986, and he is the staple. He is the man. I am the guy who's carrying the water to him. I'm his water boy. But I wouldn't have it any other way. He's a great boss, great friend, great coworker, and our listeners, they get it. Our listeners understand what we're providing for them and what they provide to us. It's a great symbiotic relationship.
You've got Bo Heinrichs there too. Is he just as much fun on a daily basis as he is at company meetings?
Oh, that Bo. He, Bo Hendricks. He's a local boy too. Phil and I both went to a school called Ithaca, about 10 miles outside of Center. And then Bo, he's a Richland Center guy. So, he bleeds that Hornet red and black. Orange and black, and he's a WRCO guy through and through. And he's a fun guy. He really is. Whether you're talking sports with him or you're talking about what he's doing on the air, or you're out at the company party and you're having an old fashioned with him, he's a good guy. Bo is, and he's a lot of fun.
Adam Hess is my guest. He is one of the hosts at WRCO. He hosts Weekend Wake Up and Prime Mover Saturdays within that Weekend Wake Up. A great show and a great segment. He joins us here tonight to make the popcorn pick of the week. His popcorn pick of the week was Song Sung Blue, a great Wisconsin movie. I'm probably going to finish it tonight because I have like 7 hours left to watch it, or I lose my $20.
Nice. Right.
But listen, we've got to get to something here, Adam, because the deadline is tomorrow.
Yes.
For Alice in Dairyland, and we only have a few more minutes. So tell us everything you can about this contest. And is it too late for Conrad to enter?
No, Conrad. And by the way, Conrad, I wanted to tell you your pick of music for intros and outros. That's a chef's kiss. Spot on. You the man, Conrad. We're just living in your world, buddy. So Alice in Dairyland, Pete. Everybody knows who Alice in Dairyland is. It's a 1-year contractual position. Starts in July. You get to travel around the state, sometimes around the nation. You're an official worker for the Department of Ag, Trade, and Consumer Protection out of their Madison office. You go around and you talk about farming, and you talk about cheese and potatoes and milk and anything that Wisconsin produces. You get to be the PR lady for that. And we're looking for the 79th. Wisconsin's looking for the 79th. You have until tomorrow at 4:30. Friday at 4:30. Deadline's done. If you need more information, you can simply go to wisconsin.gov. You can go right to the Alice in Dairyland website as well, which is simply aliceinDairyland.com. And if you want to have all your materials ready and you want to email it, you need to provide a cover letter, completed application form, resume, and contact information, and 3 professional references. But if Conrad's one of them, he counts as all 3. It's DATCP at wisconsin.gov. You can head over to WRCO.com, civicmedia.us. You will find the Alice in Dairyland story that Joanne and I put together. And the links are in there. I threw the links in there. You can just click and go. And we were able to have the 78th Alice in Dairyland at the station the other day. Sarah
nice.
Hagenau. Yeah, she stopped by. She brought Wisconsin potatoes. She bakes some potatoes. Phil had her on the air, part of the morning show. That was just tremendous. You can always go to civicmedia.us and search morning show. The WRCO morning show will come up, and you can listen to that. You can listen to anything that we've had on there, from the Sardina interview with Song Sung Blue to local school districts to statewide political races to the Allison Dairyland interview. So a lot of fun, and she is she represents Wisconsin. She is Wisconsin. She is the future of Wisconsin. Anybody who's Allison Dairyland, Pete, they are what the future of Wisconsin should be. Talking agriculture, talking technology in agriculture, and knowing what they're doing, and just proud to be doing it.
That is one hell of a sales pitch. I love it. Get your applications in tomorrow, though, folks. Adam, thank you so much tonight. Thanks for the pick. Thanks for the time. It's been great hanging with you, and let's do it again
Pete,
soon.
Yeah, I would be down with that. It was great. I appreciate it, Conrad and Pete. I'm going to go watch some Star Trek right now, so appreciate you having me in.
Anytime, buddy. All right, we'll do it again. Thank you, Adam. We are coming right back. It's Pete Schwaba and Night Light on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Passengers in time, that's in motion, together.
97.9 WGBW and WGBW.FM.
Big deals.
WGBW has some big news. Introducing the brand new Green Bay Big Deals. You can save at least 30% on gift certificates from your favorite local businesses and keep your money right here in our community. Craving lunch? Planning a night out? Looking for the perfect gift or a little treat for yourself? Green Bay Big Deals is exactly what you want. Go to WGBW.FM right now. Click the Big Deals banner and stretch your dollars further with Green Bay Big Deals.
With locations in Appleton and Oshkosh, Insight Eye Care has been serving the Fox Valley since 1972, offering comprehensive eye care services. Their doctors also share a special interest in treating chronic dry eye disease, providing specialty contact lenses, and expert pediatric eye care. Find Insight Eye Care on North Sawyer Street in Oshkosh and Chain Drive in Appleton. Improving lives by improving sight with quality eye care for everyone in your family. Insight Eye Care. Visit WIinsight.com to schedule your eye exam today.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
Every 15 seconds, someone is diagnosed with cancer. If it's happened to you or someone you love, the American Cancer Society can help at every step of the journey. Visit cancer.org today.
You're a storyteller, negotiator, artist, innovator. Whatever your passion, whatever your skills, behind the scenes or in front, you belong here. A career in broadcast media. Local radio and TV stations in every town and city need someone like you. So do what you love and bring your talent to life. Your passion, your skills, your career. You belong here. Learn more at youbelonghere.media.
Welcome back. That was fun. Adam Hess, Popcorn Pick of the Week, a song sung blue, and we got the lowdown on Allison Dairyland. So if you think you would make a great Allison Dairyland, you have until tomorrow. And he threw so much information at us. I would just say go to the podcast at civicmedia.us if you want to hear how that works, and if that's something you'd want to check out. It's a pretty cool thing. I didn't realize they'd been doing it for 79 years, Conrad, and I also didn't realize we were known for potatoes here in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I mean, we got some great fries here in Wisconsin, don't we?
I mean,
great for baked potatoes. You know, for what are they called? For supper clubs.
Yeah, but I didn't know we're known for making them. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think it is pretty cool.
Jim on the stream in response to he was I thought his sweetheart comment was Pete froze, but that was earlier when we had a technical glitch.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jim. And then he says, right for the weather. It's 10 degrees out right now, Conrad. What is going on?
It's pretty warm out, if you ask me.
Oh, God, it's just disgusting. I would like to thank all my guests tonight that we've interviewed so far. Adam Hess, Joe Schwaba, thank you for all your texts and calls. Tomorrow night on Nightlight, another fun night. We've got 2 authors on. That's going to be fun. Romance author Adrian Herrera will be here. Did you know, Conrad, that romance is the #1 seller right now with books? I didn't know that.
It's getting towards that time of, Valentine's Day, so I can
guess.
see it.
Yeah. No, we don't have to qualify it. If people want to read about romance, that's fine. I'm not. It's not a genre I've ever. If any genre is done well, though, I'll dig it. Whether it's a movie, TV show, book, whatever. But Adrian will be here tomorrow. That will be fun. And then author Jeff Stern, who is also an author and a journalist, and he's had one of his stories turned into a movie by Clint Eastwood. Jeff will be here tomorrow night at 6:35 p.m. And guess what, Conrad? Tomorrow is Friday, so you know what that means.
It's a Bar Band Friday.
Bar Band Friday, baby. Terry Barr will be here, assuming she's feeling better.
Yeah.
Do we know how Terry is doing?
She looks to be in better spirits.
So you've seen her?
Well, I've seen her chat avatar.
Okay, there you go. It looks pretty healthy. Have you seen Song Song Blue?
No, I haven't. I definitely want to give it a watch, though.
I am so excited.
For Wisconsin.
Absolutely. I'm going to finish it tonight.
We do got a steady Eddie text to chime in on our Sweetheart Candy.
I love that. This is another classic. And, I've got 2 authors on tomorrow night. I had 1 author on tonight, and then we've got a Steady Eddie text. And
he's an author, yeah.
I would consider Steady Eddie an author. But, all right, let's read this. Pete, this is from Steady Eddie, obviously, in the 608. Pete, my Sweetheart Candy suggestions. 23 Skidoo. I really never understood that phrase. I'm going to have to Google that. I remember hearing it in the Brady Bunch, and I know it's a reference to some kind of dance move, but I have to claim ignorance on this one. I just don't remember, even though I've looked it up before, what it is. But as Steady Eddie says, it's the 6-7 of its day. 23 Skidoo. 6-7. Okay. Dude, what's your problem? That's Steady Eddie's second heart suggestion. He's got an angry emoji there. Pete could throw this tiny candy heart at crazy drivers on his Marinette to Green Bay commutes. And believe me, I would, Eddie. It's terrible. Police release me. Engelbert Humperdinck, that's Steady Eddie's third suggestion. Great one. 5 and 6. Did you hear 7, 8, 9? Oh my. Love it. I don't even think that would fit on a heart, though. But we're just playing.
Tiny font.
Yeah, we're just playing here. He says, I like candy with an I. What does that mean? A stripper? I like candy. Candy.
I don't
The other one would be
know.
The other one would be Candy loves me. So he is referring to a woman. He also has one that says movie night. I love that one. And then he says, please be my popcorn pick. Oh, that's so Conrad, do we have any romantic music that we can play? That's so sweet.
I don't think I've oh wait, I do have one.
The moment is kind of past. If you have something all set, go for it. But don't worry about it.
Kind of romantic, right?
Sure. I'll tell you this. It's about as romantic as I want to get with Steady Eddie. So that's a perfect choice.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Please be my popcorn pick. Love that. And then he says, pizza be with you. Look at the thought that he put into these. This is great. Greenland be mine. DJT. Oh, Steady Eddie, you've outdone yourself. This is nice. He's been saving up. I don't think we've heard from him in a while. A couple nights.
Well, he wanted to wait for this question, obviously, because he gave us a novel.
This is fantastic. Great stuff. John in the 608 says, what weird friggin' world are we living in, Peter? Conrad is too young to know how crazy these times really are. That was in reference to our discussion before about the hearts. And he says, don't forget to update your candy profiles. I like that too, John.
I know how, crucial these times are with 6-7.
Correct. I don't know what's going on in that house. You got John's wife sending out eggplants. You've got John talking about QR codes. But you guys are awesome. Thank you for the text. Thank you all for the text and calls. Our next segment is with Becky Ferrara. She is coming up next, and she is the author of First Contact, a great book, and we had a blast talking to her. It's pre-recorded content. We'll see you tomorrow night. But enjoy this interview with Becky. She's outstanding. This is Pete Schwaba and Nightlight on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Pete, I'm all good with the beats. So
good with the beats. Okay, cool. Yep. I'll be in tomorrow night for sure. Obviously. Oh no, we don't have in studio. I'll still be in though. All right, cool stuff. Thank you, man.
Yep. All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right, later. Bye.
Seizure of hundreds of election materials from the 2020 presidential election by the FBI.
We will fight this with everything we have.
President Trump has for years claimed fraud in the 2020 election that he lost to Joe Biden. Senate Democrats striking a deal to avert a partial government shutdown and move forward with a package of bills that separates Homeland Security funding. Programs in a 5-bill package will be funded through September, but the Department of Homeland Security would be funded for just the next 2 weeks. The Senate still has to vote on it. Meanwhile, Border Czar Tom Homan now signaling plans to draw down the number of federal agents in Minneapolis following 2 deadly shootings of U.S. citizens and weeks of protests. President Trump this hour declaring a national emergency with respect to Cuba, saying, quote, the government of Cuba has taken extraordinary actions that harm and threaten the United States. It allows for additional tariffs for countries that sell oil to Cuba. This is ABC News.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Partly cloudy tonight, a low pretty close to 0. Sunshine for tomorrow, high in the mid-teens. Warming up through the teens into the 20s this weekend with some snow late Sunday into early Monday. And the milder air sticks around for next week. Currently, it's 10 above.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
The Elder Care Locator is here to help you live your best life as you age at home. Our call center advisors are ready to connect you with trustworthy local experts. Help is just a phone call away at 1-800-677-1116.
Being blind doesn't look how others may think.
Retinitis pigmentosa aimed to overwhelm my family.
It tried to cut me down. I know where to find support.
Learn more at fightingblindness.org, a public service message from the Foundation Fighting Blindness.
Hey, it's Sean Cassidy, and you're listening to Night Light with Pete Schwaba.
Welcome back. All right. Great to have you here, folks, on this chilly Thursday evening here. Thursday, it's the Christmas Eve of weeknights here at Night Light, so we always have a good time on Thursday night. And I'm very excited. My next guest is an author and science reporter who recently wrote a book called First Contact, The Story of Our Obsession with Aliens. And we are definitely obsessed. Very excited to have her here on the show tonight, as this is a topic we've discussed on and off over the last couple of years here at Night Light. She's been published in the New York Times, Vice, Popular Mechanics, the Washington Post, and the MIT Technology Review. They did not even return my phone calls. It is my pleasure to welcome author Becky Ferreira. Hi, Becky.
Hey, how you doing, Pete?
Doing very well. It is great to have you here. How are you tonight?
I'm great. It's chilly here in upstate New York as well. Chilly all around.
Oh, it's so beautiful there. What a great place. What a great place to be a writer from. That just seems like it kind of is like the perfect place to go and write a book. And maybe just because I've seen it in movies where authors like to be reclusive and write. But is that a good setting for you?
Yes, can't complain. Got a cow field next to me. Maybe you got a cow field nearby too, I would imagine, in Wisconsin, right?
We've got a few of those for sure. But it is great to have you here. So, all right, tell us a little bit about this book, which you were nice enough to share with me. I'm getting through it, and it's really interesting stuff. But for people that aren't familiar with your work, tell us a little bit about First Contact.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of alien books out there because there's a lot of obsessed people out there. And my aim was just to kind of make a very short one-stop primer for kind of all of the different avenues that people come toward this subject. I'm a science reporter who's been writing about aliens from like sort of the scientific search for life for 15 years. So I do a lot of astrobiology and those kinds of things. But over the years, I get emails from people who are in communities that are, looking for UAP and UFOs and stuff like that. And from people who are also really obsessed with pop cultural aliens, which are obviously like they're just completely, they're more common than human characters these days. So I just really wanted to have a sort of immersive look at like all of this stuff in one book, why we are so universally obsessed with this topic, and hopefully just start a conversation between these different communities, because despite the fact that we're all obsessed with aliens, people have very different values about it and beliefs about it. And I think it would be great to be able to start having more cross conversations in these kind of siloed little communities.
That's interesting you said cross conversations, because you've probably dealt with people who, have such a limited movie version of what an alien would be that it must be hard to even, indulge them. And then you've probably got other people who are more scientific, but maybe still a little conspiracy theory-ish. I don't know. How do you cipher through all those people?
I don't think there's a perfect method. And I think it's also very difficult right now because there is a lot of interesting stuff going on with UAP. I don't believe personally that I don't think that the evidence has risen to the idea that they're alien. However, you can't fault people for being really interested in weird unidentified stuff that is just being, constantly seen. Like, that is very interesting. So I think that's why, I would even say with people who are seeing it through more the pop cultural lens, nobody knows what aliens will be like. Maybe they will turn out to be exactly like one of our pop cultural versions, but maybe they could be something we can't possibly imagine. So I do think that, it's a good idea to just be able to like talk across these kind of different lines. And even for me, as someone who's not as immersed in the sort of UAP community and all the lore around aliens going back decades, it's interesting for me to hear from people and just be like, have a basic working knowledge of those theories, right? So even if I don't ascribe to them myself.
Great answer. How did you become sort of interested in extraterrestrials? I mean, obviously you're a very scientific person, you're a science reporter, but when did you get like interested in aliens to the point where you wanted to start doing investigative reporting on them and writing a book about them?
Right, totally. Well, coming of age in the 90s, you don't have a choice. You have the X-Files, you have Independence Day, you have Contact, it's just like there's no escaping it. Star Trek Next Generation, all these things, right? And every generation has a lot of alien kind of interesting fiction to read and stuff like that, but it was like, you can't really not be interested in it. But as a science reporter, I think it's just an interesting question because what a strange data point to not have filled in. I think it is a totally a bizarre paradox, the Fermi paradox going back many decades of just why should it be so special here on Earth? What is it, there's no reason to think that this transition between non-biological and biological shouldn't be happening other places. And yet we find that we are confronted with silence in the universe and not, on our neighboring planets, even though some were once habitable, don't seem to have created life as well. So I think it's just like an amazing scientific question. We don't understand how life began here on Earth to start with. And we don't know the threshold for what life needs, or if it could take very different forms. Maybe it doesn't need DNA or, in other life forms or whatever. So I just find it to be not just something that has entranced people for obvious reasons, because it's like interesting to know if there would be other things out there, but like also as a scientific data point, it just kind of, I don't feel like we can really understand our universe until we know that. So not that I expect to necessarily know it within my lifetime, but there you go.
It's great because in the book you talk about some of the more pop culture or more recent history with our obsession with aliens like Roswell, but you also go back thousands of years to a more primitive time when people, first thought maybe there was extraterrestrial life. In regard to Roswell, the incident happened in 1947. What do you make of it? Like, you talk about this Air Force Major, Jesse Marcel, I think his name was, who found wreckage of like a satellite or a U.S. experiment, a government experiment, and didn't do anything. Like they scooped it up, put it away, and all of a sudden, according to your book, he changed his mind 30 years later and said, "Oh, it was an extraterrestrial, or there was something there." Why did he do that?
I don't know, and it's interesting because I don't want to. A lot of people come to that conclusion, and I don't want to cast aspersions on them or whatever about that they had ulterior motives or whatever. I don't know. Maybe he did believe that, but like the official story with that, of course, is like that the government did lie about what they found, but that it was not they weren't lying about an extraterrestrial visitor, right? Like that it was just that it was a much more top secret mission that actually did crash. And so I wish I knew the motivation, and he believed that it was, and he told this story to writers who wrote this very famous book about it that became famous in the 80s. So, I hate to, give you such a non-answer, but I don't know. And he's not around to tell us anymore, but it's a very interesting. It's a very interesting thing. And, a lot of people revisit and change their opinions on whether they, both ways, skeptics become believers, believers become skeptics. It's just like, this is part of the kind of roiling nature of how evidence is evaluated in that sphere, right?
And how do you get, like, he got other people on board too, who worked for the government, who didn't necessarily, say it didn't happen or that he was wrong. They went with it. Like, how do you deal with conspiracy people within the government who you're supposed to trust?
Yeah, well, I think it's like something that I wrestle with right now, and I will put my cards on the table. That's like not my reporting talent. Like for the chapters that refer to UAP, I have relied on other reporters who really are deep in that world, and I just say that because I'm having a hard time right now with things like the Age of Disclosure that just came out, and a lot of talk about UAP and intimation that there's alien, secrets the government is keeping these alien secrets right now. And it's like, I don't think that's good to speculate about without being able to produce evidence. And yet there's a lot of former Pentagon officials that are doing that currently. I don't know what the answer to that is. And if there is this secret alien program, I think it just spill the beans. But I know that, that they would say, of course you can't because it's classified or whatever. Right. So I'm relying very much on reporters in that sphere to try to evaluate that information. I'm much better at evaluating the scientific side. But it's mysterious. And it's as you mentioned, this is not a new kind of thing. Like there have been people on the inside, like insider accounts of this kind of like the idea that aliens have visited Earth for decades. Right. So, yeah.
It's funny because you think if they actually did have aliens, they would have like a mixer, some that get to know the aliens, and like it's all about bringing people together.
So many different theories about what kind of aliens they would be, right? Like,
true.
And so like you want, I would personally, I'm probably very gullible and be like, let's be friends with the aliens. But then there's like lots of people who believe the aliens are malign, right? And there's all kinds of theories about what the aliens are want. I kind of get into this a bit in a chapter about pop cultural aliens, because we do graft our own kind of ideas about saviors and monsters and all these things into how we expect aliens will come to us and the risks and benefits they might pose to us.
My guest is Becky Ferreira. She is the author behind First Contact, a great book. First Contact, the story of our obsession with aliens. And we are obsessed. What did you uncover in writing this book, Becky? What were you most surprised to learn or not learn?
Yeah, I think actually digging into the UAP history, I kind of always had this kernel, like there's a reason why people are so convinced by these ideas. And it really did, when you have the history of governments kind of fudging lies about, like saying that you didn't actually see anything when they knew very well they had seen like an experimental spycraft and things like that. I guess it didn't surprise me, but it was kind of interesting to actually read those accounts and be like, oh yes, this is why there is this distrust that has happened, right? I mean, this is just very nefarious stuff. So that was interesting because I had never really delved into the deep history before. And then I think also just the kind of the fact that people are just obsessed with aliens across cultures. And as I kind of make this argument in the book, clearly tens of years into our prehistory, I think the idea of sky gods and the fact that very clearly our ancestors, even as hunter-gatherers, understood the skies to be a source of knowledge, that you would use the stars as navigation and things like that. And you would tell stories to help you remember that kind of stuff. And that is a first iteration of deciding that there is some kind of sentient entity in space. And it kind of just gets winnowed down over time into our modern idea of aliens.
Boy, that's great. I also noticed, I wanted to ask you, there was a 1994 event known as the 1994 Michigan UFO event. I don't know if you remember this. I was a stand-up comedian driving through Michigan after a gig with another comic, and we saw these lights, and they did something on Unsolved Mysteries. Are you familiar with that at all?
No, tell me more.
Well, it's just all these people in different parts of Michigan said they saw this at the same time, even some law enforcement people. But anyway, they never really figured out what exactly it was. And I'm always like, well, the government was testing something, or the Air Force or something. That's where I always want to go. Mm-hmm. But I was curious. Unsolved Mysteries is kind of a cool show. So I wanted to ask you about it and see if you were aware of it. I would love to get your take on that. Maybe you can come back, though, and we could discuss it sometime. That would be really fun.
Yeah. Well, you witnessed this yourself?
We saw lights, yeah, but not like it was in the distance, and we were like, "Oh, that's weird," but we didn't chalk it up to anything. And then we got home and we realized the next day or 2 days later there was this big thing that people were reporting in Michigan, and that's the closest I've ever come to. And it was nothing. I mean, I saw lights. I'm not saying I saw anything or shook hands with an alien or anything like that, but. Becky Ferreira is my guest. We're going to take a very short break here, and we'll have a few more minutes with Becky when we come back. And I'm going to ask her about her use of humor in the book, because she does a great job with that. And how can you not, folks, on this subject matter? This is Nightlight with Pete Schwaba. We're coming right back on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Sturgeon Spirits of Oshkosh. Next door to their cocktail bar and tasting room on Oregon Street is the Ready Room, open for your next event. A private bar with aviation-inspired detail. It's ideal for intimate parties, conferences, or special occasion parties and reunions. Sturgeon Spirits, 2663 Oregon Street in Oshkosh, and at grocery and liquor stores throughout the Fox Valley. Wherever you go, buy local, drink local, and take a piece of Oshkosh with you. SturgeonSpirits.com.
Hey, it's Amanda, and we all know that Northeast Wisconsin has some of the best events around, but trying to find them all can be tricky. So here at WGBW, we decided to do the work for you. Prevent boredom on any night by going to WGBW.fm and click events in the top right corner. You'll never have to spend forever scrolling to find out what's going on in your area. And if you got an event to share, hit us up by emailing info@WGBW.fm, bringing you local news and timeless hits while giving you the 411 on what's happening in New Wisco.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
Out here in the middle of these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on Earth. That's how it feels when you're struggling with your mental health. But you don't have to feel alone. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Reading aloud to children sharpens their listening skills, expands their vocabularies, and nurtures a lifelong love of reading. That's why Reading is Fundamental, the nation's leading children's literacy nonprofit, offers free monthly read-alouds by popular authors through its Rally to Read program. Visit rallytoread.org to watch the read-alouds and discover exciting reading activities for school and home. Visit rallytoread.org today.
I was stuck in a state of panic and endless rituals, so I made the call.
Mental health care works when you make the call. Visit mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
We are making contact here. First contact, folks, here at Nightlight tonight. Great to have you with me. I'm Pete Schwaba. My guest is Becky Ferreira. We have a few more minutes with Becky, who is the author of First Contact, the story of our obsession with aliens. And it's a really good book. I highly recommend you check it out if you're even remotely interested in this topic. And like you said before, Becky, I remember watching the X-Files and thinking how cool it would be if there was something out there, but also not wanting to stumble onto it myself. It's just kind of a creepy, eerie thing. If you, of all the conspiracy theories or theories you've heard, and maybe you uncovered some while writing the book, what are the ones that are most likely to be realistic or true in your opinion? As to the existence
of the existence of aliens?
Of aliens or extraterrestrial life, yeah.
For me, like I said in the previous segment, I adjudicate more the scientific side of it. So by kind of definition, a conspiracy theory is a different kind of evidence that I'm not good at evaluating. And I certainly, there's it's such a deep rabbit hole that you can get into with so many of these. We talked about Roswell. I do think the most parsimonious interpretation of that one is that was like the top secret Project Mogul kind of balloon issue there. But I'm not convinced by the evidence that I've seen so far that, for example, that we have a high bar of evidence that aliens have come to Earth at any point. I know lots of people disagree with me on that one.
That was my next question, actually.
Well, that's very much a growing, a lot more Americans believe that than even 10 years ago. It's gone from like a third to half. So that is a very common, but for me, I think the evidence, like if there is, for example, as a lot of these, in the age of disclosure and recent documentaries like that, these government officials intimating that there is a secret program that is hiding the evidence of aliens that have come to Earth. I won't believe that until I can have evidence of that is like adjudicated by an institution. And I think that is a limiting way to kind of do things, but that is the way that I do it. I require peer review from experts in the area to tell me that is like correct, right?
That is so refreshing because most of the books or most of the people are just like, oh no, I saw one, they exist. And it's like, well, who are you? And I remember with the California wildfires, everybody becoming a fire marshal expert all of a sudden on wildfire. Like I want to trust people like you so much more when you're just blatantly honest, and you haven't seen proof that is enough to convince you yet. You also use humor very well in the book. Was that a conscious effort when you started out writing it, or is this like the kind of thing where you're like, how can I not be funny here sometimes?
I've always liked using humor as part of science communication, and it's my style. Like I was very lucky that for 10 years I was writing for Vice's science vertical called Motherboard, which was a really fun science site and super amazing team. And they were fine with me, where appropriate, you don't want to make jokes about people's research and things like that, but where appropriate, being funny. And often, scientists are often very funny too, depending on the research, and they might make jokes as well. And just encouraging levity, because I think that's such a great way to get people interested in topics that they might not be interested in. At the same time, so that was already my natural writing style. It's aliens, like you can do so much, right? Like they're naturally they appeal to our imagination, to our creativity, and to our humor, and to our fear response too, right? Like there's really nothing you can't do with them. So and there's so many great comedies that involve aliens too, and so it's just like it was definitely part of the book that I knew I wanted to have to help people kind of like relate to these topics. Yeah.
It's just great. You're very good at it.
Thank you.
Well, tell us a little bit about your newsletter 404, The Abstract. That sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, so some of the people from Motherboard have now created their own journalist-founded site, which I highly recommend, called 404 Media, and does a lot of fascinating tech reporting, and they're great reporters, and I contribute to the science side of the site. If you go to 404media.co, you will find my newsletter there called The Abstract, which is a roundup of the studies I found most interesting every week. And I also have my own personal newsletter called The Bex Files, BEXfiles.ghost.org. I believe I should probably memorize that. No, ghost.io. Sorry, it's a newer one that I'm running, but it's mostly aliens because I remain obsessed. So it's mostly news about aliens, mostly from a scientific or pop cultural kind of a viewpoint, because I feel that that's sort of where like I said, my expertise lies. So I'll catch all the new studies that are about astrobiology and things like that.
We have about a minute left, and this is unfair, but I'm going to ask you to squeeze in an answer to 2 questions in a minute. Mm-hmm. What is your favorite Hollywood film or TV show regarding aliens? And then what does it mean in your book when you say you thank your parents for all the fish?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think probably my favorite movie just came out recently called Nope, which I really recommend. Yeah. It's a great alien movie. And it's hard not to put Star Trek Next Generation in there too, but what can you do? And then Great. Thanks for All the Fish. That's a reference to Douglas Adams's Hitchhiker's Guide series, which I was really raised on. It also has a lot of fascinating aliens. So as you can see, I really had no choice but to be interested in it. But my parents are 2 Brits who love Douglas Adams. So that was basically, that radio play was on all the time. And so it's kind of a little fun.
I love it. Have you seen the show, just a few seconds, 3 Body Problem?
Oh yeah, I read the books. I tried to get into the show. What did you think?
The show, it took me a while to get going on it, but I really liked it. I can't wait for season 2, but let's discuss that when you come back next time. I would love to have you back and do more of a deep dive into this stuff. Congrats on the book. incredible achievement and a very good read. Please don't be a stranger, Becky, and keep up the great work.
Pete, it was so much fun. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You got it. Becky Ferreira, folks, check out First Contact. It's just such a great book, and you'll love reading it, especially if you're even the least bit obsessed with aliens. I'd like to thank all my guests tonight, Joe Schwaba for his movie review, Adam Hess for making the popcorn pick of the week, and my guest, Becky Ferreira. And thank you for all your calls and texts. Another fun night here at Night Late. We will be back to do it all again tomorrow. On behalf of the lovable producer, Conrad, I'm Pete Schwaba saying good night, Wisconsin.